and welcome back to Homestuck Halves, the not quite Homestuck series, where we do things that are Homestuck adjacent, but aren't just Homestuck itself. I'm here with Mason, Arthur, and June today.
I'm one of those three.
I'm also one of those three.
Then I must be the third of those three.
And you have to figure out which one's which.
And you gotta help us.
And you gotta help! But, yes, as you can potentially see, if you recognise this Word document after so long, we are back with our Trollsona series. And before we begin... Anyway, we got some stuff to show off. Real. We got some stuff to show off at the start of this here episode. Quite a good bit to show off, actually. We've got a lot going on. So, to start with, you have seen, of course, Friendsim Xander, who has been mildly upgraded since last I showed him off, in terms of not having to have been shoddily cut out from a blue background. Tumblr compression, shit goes weird and bad.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
We also
compression.
for the video, you're gonna be seeing my mouse just like gliding ineffectually all over the place. But I am clicking and dragging files. But you've also seen Friendsim Mason.
Yay.
Anxiety.
Here is another emotion courtesy of Friendsim Damasa Artil.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Yes.
You might notice, basically, the second one here is what we were originally going for, but due to a minor bit of confusion over which direction the hand should be going, we end up with one with both hands in pockets. And me and Rhea both just thought, that's a really funny image of her just stood there with her hands in her pockets, and then nothing changes except for the arm reaching inside of the coat for a gun.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's even funnier than how you described it.
But yes, once again, courtesy of Rhea Hiveswap. Good shit as always.
Thank you, Rhea Hiveswap.
I do love like how Rhea has interpreted the phrase the agent Smith face.
Yeah. It's so good.
I love it.
It's so good.
This face.
Yeah. Put this face on it. Okay. That's even better than it was. That's better than what I even asked for.
I love it. Beautiful job. Beautiful.
Indeed. Beautiful. But now.
I thought you said
stuff I
Asian
made.
Smith. I was like, what?
Yeah, for a second I thought so too.
It really took me a considerable amount of time to put together that you were like, Asian Smith is not a term. Agent Smith is a term.
It's Agent Smith.
Yeah, from
off of The Matrix.
I was actually unironically looking up on my phone, what is an Asian Smith?
Sumisu-san. That's the name of the
It just
pilot
got me
in
a bunch
Aerosmith.
of shit to do with fucking crafts and hobbies and shit.
Yeah.
As in like a blacksmith.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but like not specifically.
One who makes. Yeah, not specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, just a general Smith of some description.
General Smith.
They've had those before.
We really do laugh at the
control
most
here.
inane of things.
We're spiraling out of control here. The metaphorical car of this show is already careened off of a cliff. And we're like that one guy who plays BMNG Drive, who just mines the car crashes, and that's what we're doing right now.
No, we're like that guy from Wacky Races.
in
He's
there.
going over that cliff.
We're
I can't breathe.
We're
Oh my
flying
God.
through the air. We're flying
Join the club,
through
Jim.
the air, down toward the ground, and we're just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but you weren't laughing that entire time.
No, I was drowning. Audience, I choked on water before this, so if my voice wavers a bit, that's
Oh,
why.
you're just gonna admit this. Okay.
Well, they might as well know.
Yeah.
Oh
fucking
my
transparency.
god, nice admitting that
Transparency.
you drowned. Okay, loser.
Wow, is this the
Loser.
sequel to Ben Drowned, Mason Drowned?
Damn. Real.
I bought a copy
He
of
might- he may
Homestuck halves at a flea market.
Real?
This show would be sold at a flea market.
It just reminds me of that. Just reminds me of that one review of Vroom with the Night
We are
Sky.
not
Have you ever
store
wo-
shelves worthy.
Have you ever wondered what Kirby music would sound like if played on a Casio keyboard at a Russian flea market by a deaf geriatric? Well, you'll love the soundtrack of Vroom in the Night Sky.
So anyway, there's some other stuff to show off. There's some other stuff to show off because between shows, I have made some alternate costumes for every member of the cast.
Ooh.
So, who do we want to see the alternate outfits of first? For some, there's more. For some, there's less. In fact, for two of them, there's literally only one. But
Let's get one each, and then the people that have repeats can have another round.
alright, that still does not decide who goes first.
Yeah,
That did not help
yeah.
in any way.
I did my job.
Xander, alright, well, we'll start
I
off
did my job.
with Xander
had my
with
moment.
Scouter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Scouter is a little-
you got the...
Slapdash,
You
but
got
he
the-
got
It's
a Scouter.
Urple.
It's Urple. Indeed.
Xander, what does the Scouter say about his power level?
Maybe when I have one of those fucking Quality Street.
You know, it does kind of look like Quality Street rapper.
It's a quality street rapper, an old quality street rapper before they made the rappers look like shit.
Back when I didn't have toys, I used to take Quality Streets out of the box and pretend they
And
were
when the
Mario
chocolate
Kart.
stop wasn't shit also. It's gotten worse. Anyway, who
Okay,
next?
loser. Boomer.
Who
Julin.
next? Julin.
Do they have only one?
No. We have not
Okay.
hit either of the characters
You-
that only have one.
You really threw a
We-
dart at nothing there, Arthur.
You specifically said, Arthur, we're going to go through all of them with one, and then we're just going to do the repeats later. So here's Julin with moon shoes.
Ah, the moon shoe.
No.
Nah.
Moon
Set up.
shoes.
Third up,
Masson.
alright, fuck it. Here's Masson in God tier, but the hat's the right colour.
Yay!
Hey!
Look at that! Look at that happy little guy.
Look at that happy little guy. Alright, fourth.
I'm sorry, that's a belt, right?
Oh,
That's a belt, yeah.
I see-
part
did
of
you
the
also-
tier fit.
did you also recolor his legs?
I fixed the fact that the legs were accidentally white instead of grey.
I wouldn't say fixed. I think it's funnier that his legs are so white.
He's just so pale!
Because I think I made the joke where it's like
Never
all
takes
of the,
off his clothes.
all of the light is absorbed by his head, so none of it goes to the rest of his body.
He's just so pale everywhere other than his bald fucking head. Alright, who's up next?
I guess Arthur.
Arthur. Arthur is one of the two characters that only has one outfit. It's just a version of his regular outfit in his god tier colours. Walking
Hooray.
around in his
Why is it
banana
giving
suit.
kind of Daisuke cool?
Is it Daisuke Ono?
No, isn't Daisuke from mouthwashing? Like
don't know who that
the
is.
shirt.
Oh no, I do know who that is! Oh my god. Wait, maybe I know who that is.
Hold on. Okay.
His memory's failing.
Excuse me.
He called me a boomer earlier, but he seems like he needs to gain a home.
Yeah.
Anyway, next
Well,
up.
it's just it reminds me of the shirt.
Strawberry pattern shirt, yeah. Yeah, just... It was... The original shirt was a Hawaiian shirt. So yeah. It is kind of the same vibe.
Anyway.
Alright,
Continue.
so we've done every character that has someone in this call associated with them. So...
Well, I guess we gotta do the guy who's missing.
Yep, alright. Here...
Missing in action. I don't know where he went.
We'll start off with this basic one. Here is Nimona, but without his hat or scarf.
That makes sense.
The strands of hair at the bottom are giving Junji Ito.
He looks startled.
Yeah,
It looks like he's not alright with that.
Yeah, he looks
probably
like
wouldn't
he's
be.
like, I feel naked.
something's wrong. All right, which of the girlfriends goes
Something
first?
just
Jim?
happened.
Something just happened.
We'll go with Cereza.
Yeah, you know what? Damasa's had the spotlight so for this one right now. We'll
She
save
can go
Damasa
last.
for last.
She can go last.
So Cereza, then Opal, and then Damasa. So here's Cereza, but I cleaned her shirt.
Nice.
Here's Cereza, but she did some dry cleaning.
Day one, Cereza.
And then here is Opal, but her in her god tier look, but her hat's the right colour.
Yay.
Wow, it's the right color.
The matching hat club.
And here's Damasa without her jacket.
That just looks wrong.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Remember the jacket? I'm just like, no.
no, yeah,
Wrong.
Yeah, it's like the Nimona minus that. It's like Nimona being absent of hat and scarf, but like infinitely worse. I finished this sprite, exported it, looked at it, and went, This can only be shown this one time. we can never acknowledge
It's like
that this
removing an
happened.
angel's wings.
Ever
You don't
again.
do that.
This
we
is
can
not
never
canon.
acknowledge this. This is canon, but Damasa would really not like it to be. You know what? Let's head backwards, back up the line. So, next up, we're back to Opal with her extra stuff. Here is her with a heart-themed dress.
Nice.
Here is her with a horrendously gaudy golden dress.
Nice.
And here is her with 3 dresses themed after her 3 girlfriends. Amethyst for Cereza, Ruby for Julin, and Sapphire for Damasa.
Nice.
Nice. Next up, we've got Cereza, and it's 2 versions of her regular outfit but themed to her god tier colours, one where she also themed her makeup with it as well.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah.
Yippee!
Next, we have
That shit
Nimona.
looks like a rust blood.
Next, we have Nimona. Starting off, here is just Dream Moon and God tier outfits without the
I do
hat
like
or
how he's
scarf.
got like the shock of white hair. It is a nice
Yeah.
touch.
And then here
Although it does
is-
remind me of Bride of Frankenstein, I will say.
and then here is
I'll be riding in this Frankenstein.
his Hades armor.
Delight of.
This is the really high level gear he was wearing when he was fucking around in Hades, on Land of Hearth and Hades. It is
Oh, wow.
very over the top and kind
Whoa.
of. It is very over the top and a little bit silly looking almost, but it's kind of meant to be sort of like this is a false start. It's kind of like the Super Saiyan Grade 3 of this whole thing, where it looks utterly ridiculous, and it's meant to emphasize the fact that this is not where he's supposed to be going.
I
This
kind of
is
like
not
the.
the correct path.
I kind of like the pattern with the mixture of the like texture.
Yeah, it's like magma.
It looks like
shit.
magma veins.
Yeah, exactly.
'twas the inspiration.
That's good. I like it.
Next
I
up,
keep forgetting we named a land after my goddamn cat.
you know what? I'll circle back round to Julian. Arthur, there was literally the only one. Xander, there's also only one more, and it is a god-tiered themed version of his regular outfit. So it's like, you know, his lab coat-esque look, but it's purple and rage and all that, and, you know.
Nice.
Nice.
Circling back round to Julian. Here is
It's
Julian,
Mr.
but
Rage.
He's Mr. Rage.
I miss the rage.
The rage.
next up,
That's the...
an altered version of Julian's god tier outfit, where swapped out the pants for a skirt.
Yeah.
And finally, here's a teaser for this next one. Here's a little...
Oh,
Yep. Julian eye reveal. She has horrendous anime eyes.
oh.
Oh, she has every disease.
She has every disease. All of them.
This is the best.
All diseases. There's some other stuff I can show off, but I will show it off later. By the way, me and June talked about this idea, the anime
I thought it
eyes
was hilarious.
idea.
I thought it was actually hilarious.
Yeah, basically, how... We'll decide how all the guys might react to this, if/when they ever see it. But how Julian's girlfriends react to it. Cereza thinks she should get it checked out. At like a hospital. Or like by anyone with medical knowledge. Opal squeeze at such a pitch and volume that it could shatter glass a mile away. And Damasa gets horrendous levels of cuteness aggression. When Damasa's around, Julian has to wear the glasses. It's a safety risk. For everyone.
I
Now
just
I'm-
realised what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the hidden RPG maker room in Velvedek.
The hidden RPG maker room in Velvet Deck is kind of... Yeah, that is kind of...
For context, this is what he normally looks like. This is what Pavel normally looks like.
Just to contextualize for everybody.
Playful.
I'm imagining a redraw of the Sailor Moon image, but with Julian.
And then you cut to the tuxedo mask shot, and it's just a Damasa sprite.
And then Tomasa reaches into the coat.
Reaches into the coat for the
It's just the...
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. If we ever get a piece of art that actually is Julian in the Sailor Moon meme, editor me, create that if/when you ever get that image, because we both know that you cannot create it yourself. There are 6 other images that will be shown in this video. However, none of them are real yet, and by real I mean we haven't gotten to the point in the storyline where the thing that would be in that image exists. So, I will show them off when we get there. But first, it's time for the late game. It's time to begin the actual business. So, in the late game, it's basically the allies and enemies we make in the session, notable things that occur during the session after God tiering has been fully completed. All 8 have gone God tier. Do we do anything about our versions of the Midnight Crew? Do we realise at some point before rounding out what we can do in the session that we can't win? What are our reactions to our denizens, generally speaking? And so, let us scroll rapidly down. Yeah, where we left off, we're at this sort of stage. We've just finished up all the god tiering. Nimona is just beginning to attempt a redemption arc. How shall we begin this little writing session effectively?
Should we maybe lay down some general groundwork first, and then get more specific from there?
Sure, right. We'll start with general points. What general points do we have for it?
I feel because you said it takes us like... Oh, sorry.
I will quickly ask, since there's two portions of the game left right now. There's the late game, which is this section, and then there's the end game, which is dealing with the last few things in the session, the big bosses, all that.
Yeah.
Do we think Nimona should have that little click of, oh, I can combine these two abilities I have to make Sunform, the thing we discussed that he unlocks. Do we think he should have that little moment of realization during the late game or the end game?
I think save it for end game.
Works for me. Alright, so no Sunform here. Sunform when we get to the end game. So, what's our ground?
I was gonna say, I think, because you said it takes us like maybe a month or two to get through the game, or like several months, I forget.
I believe it was about, 600 hours. Yeah, it was just under a month for Carcat, the Alternian trolls from Homestuck, to finish their session.
Right.
So our session would be
taking
longer than that, but it would take longer than that, but an indeterminate amount of time longer than that. It could take anywhere from just over a month to like multiple sweeps if we want.
I would say.
How long does it take to get to? Because endgame would be the shortest portion.
Exactly.
The end game will be the portion of the session that would take like in game a couple days tops. That's how long that would take. Late game, we can decide here how long we want the session to have been. So how long we thinking?
I was thinking probably 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months? Alright.
Yeah. And then it's during like the second, like, by the time we reach like the second month mark, that we start to get the inkling, oh, we might not actually be able to finish this.
Okay, so we do get that. So we do manage to piece it together. Oh shit, we fucked something up and can't win outright. We can't complete the final objective of the game. Okay, so like about halfway through then, really? About 2 months in?
Which I'd say would still be a part of late game.
So after everyone's gone, God tier is when we figure it out, basically. Well, at some point after.
I'll just say a few weeks after everyone
God tier
goes. God tier.
Yeah. May I ask just a recap of what are the events kind of just before? What's the last thing that's happened for each person?
We had our full-on battle against Nimona. Julian went God tier and Arthur landed the final blow, launched Nimona into the land of Hearth and Hades, where Nimona dies on his quest bed and goes God tier. Meanwhile, everyone other than Julian returns to their respective lands and goes God tier, because now they know it's a thing that they can do.
Yeah. And as Nimina is falling through the land of Hearth and Hades, he realizes, oh shit, I'm fucking this place up. It's this, all of what's going on right now, all of the destruction that's happening is all my fault. Shit, I gotta, like, change shit up quick. I gotta, like, turn this shit around. And of course, none of the majority of the cast believe Nimina is actually doing this, because why would they? He's been tricking them and tormenting them for sweeps at this stage. But Nimina is still trying to turn things around.
Yeah, that's fine.
And work through things. Okay.
Also, June, you saying the God tier incident a few minutes ago reminded me that Prosper is still flying around through the session.
Oh no, it's not flying around. It hit the land of Soft and Silence, bounced off, and slammed into the land of Hearth and Hades.
I'm thinking that this happened during the battle against Nimina. Like, basically, Prospect
the
was
collision.
approaching the land of Hearth and Hades, and Arthur punched Nimina, like, into the land of Hearth and Hades, and then Prospect crashes on the land of Hearth and Hades.
Yeah, what I'm picturing is as Nimina's falling, it's like, you know that bit in Mason, you'll get this Lava Reef Zone where you're jumping through as things burning apart and you can see the death egg crash through the fucking roof.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
It's that, but it's Prospect instead of the death egg.
That's awesome. I love that.
Like, you can see Prospect having crashed through the roof, but not having impacted the deepest ground in Hades.
Yeah, like not having, like, stopped, basically. Like Majora's Mask.
Yes. Can't win because Damasa fucked up the Frog Green quest. This makes sense. Damasa doesn't really give two shits about anything to do with that. And Bard of Space. These add up. And also,
Yep.
I don't think we know explicitly if a time player is supposed to help, or if it's a knight that's supposed to help, and Karkat was just bad at being a knight. But either way, neither party was there to help, because Masson is bad at being a time player, and Damasa kind of hates his ass anyway.
Yeah.
And there isn't
I
a
love how
knight
that's
in this
worked out.
session. And there isn't a knight in this session, full stop, at all.
Yeah.
So, that's our general points for right now. Anything else we want to add to the general ideas? I'm assuming also this is the point where the Midnight Crew are definitely going to be like, something's going on here, and it's larger than I was expecting. Considering the fact most sessions don't have interplanetary collisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Also,
Do you think-
funnily enough, we haven't brought any destruction to Durce's doorstep, funnily enough. All
No,
of the
that's 'cause
shit that's
Xander's the
been
only
fucked
person
up
on
is
Durce.
all on Prospect.
Xander is
No,
the only
the-
Durst player, and the only other person to have even been to Durst is Masson, because he just wanted to figure out where Xander was.
The only thing that's happened on Durce is Masson showed up in a Volkswagen Beetle. And then they
So
both,
the
and then he and
what was
Xander
that one?
both
What was that one
left
Paradox
in
Space
the-
comic
in the
where they
fucking
were?
Beetle.
Yeah. What was that one Paradox Space comic where it was the
with,
like
Rose
Durst
and
press
Jade.
trying to come up with the
No,
one where
it's- oh, fucking that one.
they're just like sat around, they see a car,
Exploded. Woo!
they see a car in the sky, they're like, flying car? Question mark, and then Prospect
No.
explodes, and they're like, oh,
They put it in as this traffic jam.
aerial traffic jam.
Because Masson was
And
getting real indecisive on where to park.
Yeah, and then Prospect explodes far in the distance, and Masson just like looks in his wing mirror, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Oh, fuck.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. Okay, how do we think the Midnight Crew are feeling towards our band of fucking terrors at the moment?
Ooh. I don't know. They might actually be slightly chill with us. because we destroyed Prospect.
Well, we haven't destroyed Prospect. We fucked it up bad and sent its moon hurtling into another planet.
Kind of
But
what they wanted.
Yeah, wait, which way around was it? Because there was Prospect and the moon. One of them crashed into Skyr, and the other one crashed into
shit.
Losas, then Loha.
oh shit, yeah,
Yeah.
no, actually, yeah. Prospect did crash land on Skya itself.
Probably
Oh, that's
killed
another-
quite a few black and white people.
Okay, the fucking Carapacians, yeah.
Carapacians, that's the one.
Cannot complete the quest. We cannot win because Damasa fucked up the frog breeding quest. And also the small matter of Skya being victim to a horrific interplanetary collision with Prospect. Fucking add
Like
myself.
I don't know if we'd be like buddy with them like Carcat was with
Oh,
yeah.
Spade Slick, but we're just kind of
Yeah,
like
no.
we're just kind of like, you're over there, we're over here, whatever.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I... Sorry, words are escaping me.
Words don't come easy.
That's what I meant, was, they
Yeah,
just kind of... They're like...
It's like the end of Shark
like,
Tale.
they're doing
We cool?
something over there.
Yeah,
We don't need
we're
to.
cool.
They're doing something over there. They killed all our enemies all at once, which is real convenient for us.
Yeah, what
so
if
I'll
Prospect
just,
crashing
like-
accidentally killed the White King?
Oh, yeah, no, it probably would have. No, the Rawls are probably dead. Like, outright.
Fuck.
Should one of us find the ring? On accident. Be like,
We'll,
"Oh, what's
we'll
this?"
get to that. Oh, what's this? Probably nothing. Just throw it
What happens if
away.
a player
But
puts
no,
the ring
well,
on? Or
nothing
does it only
happens.
affect Carapacians?
It
Yeah,
only
because
affects
didn't
Carapacians.
Jade have the ring on
Jade-
at one point and it didn't do
Jade-
anything?
Yeah, Jade put it on at one point and it did bugger all. Yeah, it only powers up Carapacians.
And this is the moment where Kind Boy jumps in from the Spurbsim timeline and gains the power.
It gains the power of all
Interdimensional
of the shit we
interloper
prototype.
Kind Boy.
We'll see. Anyway, but yeah. Okay. But what are the Midnight Crew actually doing themselves? Because at this point, we've been focusing a lot on what the trolls have been doing. Because it's been a lot. And nothing's really happened around Durst. So they've had kind of like a long time to just not really do all that much, apparently. So what have they been doing? What have they been up to?
They were trying to fight the whites. And we
We're
saw
trying to
how
fight
that played
Prospect.
out.
Let's just specify Prospect and Durst. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's not bring
Prospect.
the words black or white into it. That could get to an issue. Because if the Trollsonas end up having to fight the Dursite forces, I can't say what
Yeah.
the equivalent phrase would be for that.
Yeah. Kinda
So
sucks how that
let's
shakes
stick
out.
to Prospect and Durst, Prospitian and Dursite. Just stick to that terminology, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is
Yeah.
probably the safer option. Comparatively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be politically correct.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just double check what we actually prototyped.
Oh, I think I remember.
Oh.
It's Xander's Meow Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xander, it was the cat. Okay, so the second
Yeah,
prototypings
Catlus's rather,
don't
not
really
Meows.
matter for this.
Yeah, it's only the ones before
the first prototypings.
they go into the game.
The first prototypings are the only ones that really matter. So, Catlus's
Mothman plushie,
Mothman,
Excavator,
I'm motherfucking Mothman.
Excavator, the ancient artifact, the superconductor cooler,
Dead Turtle,
Dead Turtlelus's, old Scare Actor costume, giant gold statue of Julian and Damasa, and a nuclear reactor.
So
Which-
we're looking at
Very powerful. We're looking at very powerful
Yeah.
royals, but nothing that would specifically piss Jack off and spur him to kill the royals and steal power. So
Yeah.
the Midnight Crew is still just kind of on the down low a little bit. They're not
Yeah.
making any huge moves, but they might do in really late game. So
They might,
What are-
they might
what are
have
they up
some
to, you think?
revelation.
yeah, or they might just go, "Oh, there's a good opportunity." So what? Okay, I think Xander would probably be very wary of the Midnight Crew. What with the fact that he knows them and has children.
Yeah.
And while the Midnight Crew, as they currently stand with no direct major power, aren't going to be able to do shit to any of the main crew, there are a bunch of vulnerable kids that are very easily stabbed and or held hostage. So I feel like Xander would probably want to do something about the Midnight Crew.
So maybe Xander tries to rally everyone to be like, maybe we should take care of these guys before they become a problem.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Do they even know the Midnight Crew exist outside of Xander? Does anyone else have any conception of who they are?
Maybe Masson?
yeah, Masson might have seen him.
Masson might have seen him on his visit, so okay.
Masson might have seen one of them. Like maybe like one of them was just kind of like standing nearby, trying to see what the whole car situation was about. And Masson was like, "Who's that guy?" And Xander's like,
Oh, that's fucking... That's the Draconian Dignitary. Don't talk to him. Don't even look at him.
okay.
That's some rube.
Do you want to come and get in my car?"
Yes.
Okay. Noom. Draconian dignitary's eyebrows furrow. Do they have eyebrows?
Yeah, they don't have, like, eyebrows with hair, but they have the general muscular structure of eyebrows. You know, it's kind of Super Saiyan 3 rules, I guess.
Draconian dignitaries at brow furrows.
Yeah. So would you say Masson is probably on board with Xander's assessment?
Yeah, probably. Masson's kind of a doormat when it comes to Xander.
No, I feel like... Well, I wouldn't say... I don't think he's necessarily a doormat. They are just good buddies, though. It's very much just like, I trust your judgment. You're probably right on this one. Especially considering you kind of live here, I've been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The doormat assessment more comes from the helping Xander with terrorism without knowing that he's doing terrorism.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Oh, it's Arthur's funny jingle again.
My dinner.
I remember that when we were talking about Donkey Kong and crack cocaine.
So who do we think... Who else do we think... What do we think the others would think about Xander wanting to just go out of everyone's way to destroy the Midnight Crew?
Well, I seem to remember there are a few trolls who have no qualms about just killing people.
That's all of them. That's basically everyone, Mace.
No, I mean, like, people who would, like, kill at a drop of a hat, as I believe you once phrased it.
Yeah, that's most trolls, in general, frankly.
Right. I was just trying to give you an easy out.
It's more a matter of, like... It's more a matter of, like... Because Durst is further out than anyone other than Xander and Masson have ever bothered going. It is very out of the way. It's not like I'm gonna kill this guy who's over there. It's like if I turned to you guys and went, right, we're going to Texas to kill a guy.
I mean,
depends on who it is.
Probably.
What of the girlfriends then, June? What would we assess those three would?
Syriza, yes.
Yeah, because that's another thing. We did a revamp of Cerise's character.
Yeah, we made her just infinitely better.
We made her interesting in any way. Let me just pull this up.
Oh.
Give me a minute to actually get to the correct point in the document. Okay, and swap to the other Word document. Here we are. She is now, scare actor, but tries to be nice behind the scenes. Secretly not a believer in the mirthful messiahs, but has to pretend constantly. Neiman uses this to make her do as he wants. Likes eating very dusty crisps, so on and so forth. She is horrifically jealous. If someone even glances at one of her girlfriends and she thinks it might remotely be romantic, she'll burn their hive to the ground with them inside. Hyper jealous, hyper violent, strangely good with kids. Hates the clown cult, but frankly acts like a perfect member aside from not believing in the mirthful messiahs. She is against the clown cult because when she was young, her sect of the cult killed a large number of people, including all of her at the time friends. Then almost all of them committed ritual suicide. She was initially left behind to continue spreading the word and convert people. And I also added she is down horrendous for Julian and Opal. Down bad, doesn't even begin to describe it. Like, her agreement to come along and kill the Midnight Crew, if Julin said it to her, it would probably sound like, yes, my queen, along with a salute.
Yeah.
At which point I assume both Xander and Masson would just sort of like look, and it would look kind of like the Damasa sprite. And you can decide whether they're reaching into their coats for weapons.
Yep.
That's up to your interpretation, folks.
Masson just pulls his hat down over his eyes a little bit.
You just go, Mamma Mia.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Mamma mia.
Yeah, Mamma
That's
mia.
another- I almost forgot. There is one more thing I have to show off. We do have, of course, our Masson sprite, but I decided to have a try at making a Masson sprite of my own.
I like that.
I put the work in on that one.
I love that. I like how you've
I want a mod for Smash Ultimate that's that now.
Masson in Smash Ultimate. Okay. So
damn,
we've
if
got.
only we knew someone who knew how to model.
If only.
C'est la vie.
So,
Oh,
who
bloody
else do we
left
think
goes
could
on.
be in on the destroy the Midnight Crew immediately
Do you think Damasa?
plan? Because, like, Syriza, I think, would agree no matter who asked. Well, maybe not Masson, but if Xander asked it and explained, I think they might go for my kids, considering Syriza looked after those kids and is very good with kids, she'd be on board. No. Midnight Crew gotta go. They can't touch those innocent children.
Do you think Demacia would be on board?
Arthur, now that you're back,
think
do you think Arthur would be on board with this?
Judging by what has happened, isn't it like he's learned that there is no the son that's looking after him, and he's turned to
God tier. He's turned to the grimdark powers. He's turned to the horror terrors, but then he, following that, has already gone God tier and sort of become his own son.
Okay. Well
So
then,
kind of
okay. If he's become his own son, right? Well, this is his arc has culminated, and now his role within the story is to act as a sort of tragic, kind of showing that to kind of be because the whole point of this kind of thing with Homestuck is no session can be successful except the one super session. So it's kind of his only role within the story now is to act as a person who is like actively doing the best they can, but will never succeed because of their like.
Well, at the very
path
least,
that he's
this
got.
session won't succeed. Possibly,
Yeah, but
our post-scratch session might also succeed, but it's not connected to the Homestuck storyline. We're kind of... Because otherwise, there's kind of no point in having a story, because realistically, all of these characters would have been dead within a week of being in the game, because their whole existence is a doomed timeline.
yeah. So
We kind of do need to kind of ignore the fact that the super session over with John and that is the only one that can succeed.
okay.
Otherwise,
Then,
again,
okay.
this
Then my
session would
understanding of
lead
the
to which God
narrative.
tiers.
Okay, then my understanding of the narrative is slightly different.
However,
As it pertains to
particular
our
single
story,
session-
the narrative is being altered.
This particular single session cannot succeed.
Yes.
So then, the role of this character within the story is to act as a foil to Xander, right?
Well, that's kind of up to you a little bit. But he
well,
certainly
that's-
does
that
work
was-
as a good foil for him.
I do have an idea for Arthur, but that's more end game than late game, so I shall shelve it for the moment.
To my
Well,
understanding,
why
now
don't you-
they've
hang on,
had
why
their
don't you
main
say your
thing.
idea so that we can kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
find a fun way to lead to it.
Okay, so I'm thinking about the big like final battle against, I guess, the Black King.
Yeah.
If we remember the prototypings, Arthur's is Excavator, the one who would have a vendetta against him. So I'm thinking that in the battle, more than anything else, the Black King is targeting Arthur, and because of the nuclear radiation, basically, and the fact that it's got deadly claws, wings, a second head, a powerful turtle shell. It's very difficult to kind of get up close and personal with the Black King, and unfortunately Arthur's forte is up close and personal attacks. So I'm thinking that if anyone's gonna die in the battle against the Black King, it's probably gonna be Arthur. But
Okay.
he doesn't
I've got an
die
idea.
because no. Let me just outline my whole idea.
Let him cook, guys. Let him
He gets mortally wounded. I know Arthur's got a bunch of abilities that help him like power through the pain. So the fight would be won, but Arthur would basically be, done for, except for Nemena's Lazarus ability. So basically, Arthur is being kept alive as long as Nemena believes it, and Nemena has to be confronted with the fact that he has truly and completely ruined Arthur's life thoroughly.
Sure.
It's sort of like a, kind of a culmination of their relationship. Is that
That's a good way to do it.
as much as Nemena can try to redeem himself, he cannot escape the fact that he has out of everyone, he's manipulated Arthur the most, and he has basically cost Arthur his like freedom and his life because of it. That's my idea for Arthur.
Yeah,
you know,
So
I may have put the apron on. I may have tied back my hair. I may have washed my hands for this
You
one.
may well have cooked just there. I just want to ask. So, with the intention of that, are we thinking Arthur is legitimately we find some way to effectively the confrontation happens, the emotional confrontation happens, and then a way to sort of sneak Arthur into still being alive is found, and Nimona just keeps having to confront that fact and continue to grow with the exact guy he fucked up the most right there watching him? Or are we thinking in this scene that there's nothing Nimona can do to fix his mistake right now, and Arthur is left to die?
Here's the thing. I don't want to remove Arthur from the story.
Oh, I don't. I think that's a good idea. I genuinely think it's worth killing because the character.
I think it's your character.
I think
if you so choose.
Emotionally speaking, these two circumstances can both have similar emotional weight in different places.
But I feel like
a matter of, do we want to,
one should always
have Arthur not be in the story from another. Have Arthur only be in the story from the perspective of being a ghost, effectively.
That I can live with.
Only encountered in the afterlife.
But it would kind of be like a sort of keeping him around for the sake of keeping him around. I do feel like his role in the story has been like fulfilled.
Yeah, so, I mean the whole point of the character was it's this person who's deeply, deeply dissociated and taken advantage of, and then they regain an identity, and then this identity
it really
has
twists
something to do
the
with embracing themselves as their greatest, person. But I think critically now that's kind of happened. This character only really serves to act as a foil to Xander, or to die. Really, because
obviously Arthur can have interpersonal relationships with the other characters and can build dynamics from that, but the core of Arthur's story is that he's been manipulated by Nimona.
Yeah,
and I feel like that has to come to a head with Nimona suffering. It's another sort of twisting the knife backhanded way, that the way Nimona suffers is by not being able to is through the suffering of another. He could absolutely just wipe his hands of the whole situation and be like, oh well, I never cared about Arthur. But the problem is, now that Arthur has found this fulfillment without him, he is starting to actually care about him.
I think
and so it's oh, Arthur just got his freedom and now he dies and it's all my fault. And as much as I try to save him, there's nothing that I can do. I can only prolong his suffering.
Nimona is also a healer, so it is a matter of he can potentially heal him.
The whole point of the Lazarus ability is that he has to believe that Arthur will be fine, but as soon as he tries to heal him, he'll die.
Well, yeah, but it's a matter of if he doesn't have the ability, the energy within him to heal Arthur, he can believe him to stay alive. He can use that Lazarus ability. It's a thing that takes a very small amount of energy to do, but it keeps him at sort of a half-life.
Well, I'm reckoning that in the final battle, Nimona is going to be expending a lot of energy, because Arthur's not the only one fighting the Black King.
True.
I'm trying to manifest a situation where this ability is used, because it's a cool ability.
I think it's worth killing this character, almost or if you do something with that, have them be half alive. What does that mean for a character whose point is to be quote unquote perfect? That was the point of
I think the issue is that with Arthur and his perfection, I think it's a matter of, I always interpret it as more, he cannot be diminished, but he is not literally perfect. There is growth he can do.
No, I'm saying he's at the limit of... Well, no, I thought the whole point was... It's
just a matter of...
I mean...
I feel like it's a matter of, if Arthur is... Frankly, it's a matter of, if Arthur is as perfect as he... if Arthur is fully self-actualized and perfect, he wouldn't die. Realistically, he would be able to just body the Black King on his own.
Well, no, I thought that would be the point. That's like, it hits quite heavy because the character who is at their most powerful, their greatest, can't beat this person. That was their limit.
Yeah, because now it means no one's safe if it's the best character can die.
Well, then additionally, we have the issue of, after that, it's a matter of, there are stronger opponents after this. It's kind of, it gets to a point where it's like, we would have to pull bullshit and just break the system altogether for the actual eventual big bad past this point to ever be beatable.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a matter of...
If we declare that Arthur is at a level where he is perfect and self-actualized and is the strongest, and then we kill him to the Black King, then we get to the point where it's like, well...
Well, it's not the idea that...
can't win against stronger opponents at this stage, because they will objectively never surpass Arthur. That is something we've already written.
They
will never get to his level of strength.
Alex, I get the feeling we're going to be meeting more people, and I think there's such a thing as strength in numbers.
Also, yes. Beyond this as well, I think we've miscommunicated here. It is not that Arthur's character is at the height of any character, it's that Arthur's character is at the height that Arthur can reach. They are at their best.
He's reached his final form. He's become the best him he can be.
I just personally prefer the idea of Arthur staying around and continuing to grow and develop and change as well.
I mean, you could do that with the use of the Lazarus.
Kill him off here.
Well, what the Lazarus does is that effectively it puts a timer on Arthur's remaining time in the story. It's a promise that Arthur will eventually be made to leave.
Or until they find another sylph that can actually heal him for real.
Yeah, well and also it offers an interesting narrative idea of...
But I do want Nimona to like suffer like consequences for his actions, because you can say that he died, but we all did.
Okay, I think we can reach a middle point here. Of Arthur is dying after the battle. Nimona uses his Lazarus ability to keep Arthur alive. Arthur can no longer be healed by Nimona, and now there's this sort of risk to it.
Yeah, this looming.
Also, if Arthur suffers any injury that would... If Arthur, at this point, he is still weak. It is a matter of, during this stage under the Lazarus ability, he is significantly weakened. As well. But alive, crucially. But that means it's a lot easier for Arthur to suffer a major injury that would make Nimona think there's no way he could live from that.
Yeah.
So now Arthur... So effectively, it's a matter of... We have this span of Arthur being at his peak, physically. I think it's a matter of... I do like the idea of Arthur being physically at his peak in this section before the end of the battle. But emotionally and mentally, there's a lot of growing room to do.
Yeah, that certainly works.
But
and you can have this
and then
kind of...
Arthur gets effectively nerfed by being under the Lazarus ability, but he's allowed to continue being alive.
Yeah, of course.
And then eventually, later in the story, another sylph is found, and Arthur is restored to his physical peak, having undergone more growth and been humbled to a certain extent. Because for this span, Arthur is going to be the cockiest motherfucker in the world, effectively, because he's going to be at his peak.
I wouldn't say that he would be cocky. I think it'd be worse and more. It'd be acting in a way that was more annoying than that. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll stop eating. More annoying than that. Do you remember when I wrote that thing? It's the idea of
Oh yes. This is about the time we should get to that, Arthur. Now that I think about it, because way back when we originally created these characters, Arthur wrote a little passage, effectively, of a conversation between Arthur and Xander. Do we still have that pinned somewhere, or can we? It'll be a way away.
I don't
Do we have it
know.
in like a text document or something?
If it's not there, it'll be there if you scroll up far enough.
Yeah, but that'll be scrolling up for well over a year's worth of messages, and I can't
I don't have
fuck
that.
to do that.
Let me
Either
check
way,
pins.
basically, to summarize,
Do you have
it was a dramatic conversation between Arthur and Xander, and unintentionally, God, did it sound gay.
You know how it goes.
It sounded
All
very
good
sad,
writing is
but
gay
also
writing.
incredibly homosexual. So I'm thinking,
Oh,
as
maybe I have it
another-
saved on my phone in a note.
Ooh.
So I did have the idea of, at some point, either during the later parts of the session or after the session during whatever happens next, basically, Xander and Arthur kind of have a weird...
Hey!
Xander and Arthur effectively have a weird thing going on where it's like, no, we don't, I don't have any emotional attachments towards him whatsoever, and then at least from Xander's perspective, it's like, oh god, I have an emotional attachment to him. Oh god, kill me, end my life, please.
Oh, damn.
We're re-pasting it. Arthur, if you would like
nice.
to give us a dramatic reading upon posting.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you can both dramatically read it.
Yeah, it's got lines.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll read Xander's lines. Arthur read Arthur's lines and also the narration, or unless someone else wants to do the narration.
June, would you like to? Oh, I'll do it. Okay. Then.
Oh, great! You both effectively like.
Well, I was offering it to June because June hadn't really said anything in a while because I was blathering about my
June,
Lazarus idea. But if you want me to do it,
I'm just kind of listening.
then I shall narrate.
It
I
It
shall
didn't really
narrate
feel
in
like a
my
conversation I really had a stake in.
Yeah, this was just my. I just wanted to pose this idea because I liked it. I just want the Lazarus ability to be used. Is the
that is a good point. Okay,
is the be all and end all.
basically-
Yeah, you make a.
And I felt like
scales.
using it with Arthur was the most like thematically
Yeah,
relevant
I can
Quite a
usage.
poignant way to use it.
And it Nimina is suffering in a very ironic way in that this person who he's used as his basically slave is now the one that he has to constantly devote at least a small portion of his attention to because of the Lazarus ability.
And additionally, also, I do like the idea of, in the post game, effectively, Arthur is kind of effectively a zombie for all intents and purposes. He is undead to a certain extent.
He's always being manipulated by the whims of others. First Nimina, then the horror terrors, then Nimina again.
Then the plots.
Although weirdly enough, it's actually more because Nimina isn't controlling Arthur's actions. Arthur's existence is controlling Nimina now to a certain extent.
Okay, shall we do a dramatic?
There's way more off the page, sorry.
Oh, there's
Okay,
more.
shall I
There's
wait until
so
you've posted it
much
all?
more to it.
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know when you've posted it all.
In the meantime, let's get back to where we are in, in the story currently.
Thank you for listening to my TED talk.
It's a good it's a good idea, and I like how we've managed to effectively adapt it. I want to keep Arthur around because I think, frankly, the idea of there being an
It was more me.
unwelcome thing,
Yes.
for lack of a better term, going on between Arthur and Xander. There, I think that's just funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
And
the thing
Arthur alive for that to work.
The thing I wasn't sure about was if Arthur was cool with the idea of Arthur Trollsona remaining in the story as a ghost. I didn't know if he was cool with like him dying but not leaving the story.
I'm
'Cause it kind of
I'm
cheapens
not
the
a
death of it.
fan of the way Homestuck uses ghosts and their way to like skirt actual consequences for a character dying. So
Yeah.
that,
I was kind of
like
pandering
not
to
my
I was
thing.
kind of pandering to Arthur's like of consequences because
Yeah,
I
I'm a
also
big-
like consequences.
I'm a big consequencer.
So
Even
before we
your
read,
actions.
He's a man with a big consequence.
before we do the dramatic
Me
reading, let's
when
just
I'm
decide the
reading,
full
This is me when I'm sewing.
the full course of who's going on the Midnight Crew elimination mission.
I do think that Damasa would
So
go
Xander,
at the very least
Madsen,
as soon as she
Julian.
as soon
I
as
was
she
gonna
found out that
say,
Julin
yeah.
was going, just so that she could kill them better than Julin.
Yeah, just to prove she's better. Yeah.
Except for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
You know.
Vegeta, I can kill him in my cruise. I'm the fucking bard of all spaces. I'm gonna win.
I'm the space of all bards.
Okay,
All hail Damasa, bard of nothing.
Does Opal come along with as well, just for a girls' night out? But also, there's these two guys here as well, weirdly. But like, or does she hang back? Fuck it. You know what? At this
Would you
point,
expect Arthur to be involved in this, by the way?
Honestly, I don't know. It's up to you. Do we think Arthur would be interested in going to deal with the Midnight Crew, knowing what is at stake and what could happen?
Do you think it's the right thing to do? If yes, then probably.
Alright, Arthur's going along.
And plus, this
And then-
facilitates interactions between Arthur and Xander. So that means that
I'm thinking, frankly, by the end of the game, how the social dynamics work is you've got the Polycule, and then you've got Arthur, Xander, and Masson as sort of a trio, and then Nemina is there. Not quite accepted into either group as, like, you hang with us, you are chill with us, but, like, by the absolute end of the game, it's a matter of, like, yeah, you're fine, we don't hate you, and we trust that you'll do the right thing, but we're not friends. But since everyone else is going and he is trying to do better and be better, I think Nemina will. I think Nemina would hang back and run interference to make sure no one gets to Xander's like cave where all the kids are.
Yeah.
So ironically, Nemina is the one looking after Xander's children.
Yeah,
I would also say that by the end of the
similar irony to him keeping Arthur alive at the end, because the children were his leverage to keep Xander under his thumb, and now he's working to make sure that that leverage is not relevant anymore as something that can control him. He's working to make sure that those kids can be given an actual life, not.
And
used
Nemina
as
gets
a
to meet the
bargaining
kids.
chip. Yeah, and they'll hate him.
Yep.
For good reason. Xander will definitely have complained about him to them. He will have to deal with these little shits being just the littlest shits possible.
That don't make sense.
And,
just quickly,
and he will have to tolerate them.
I would expect by late on in the dynamics and the story and things like that, that since, crucially, Arthur's and Nemina's characters are intrinsically linked, I would expect that those two characters would at least like grow to be begrudgingly friendly.
Yeah, because then that twists the knife further
now,
when
here's the thing.
Nemina
They're
has to.
begrudgingly friendly. I did not say they are friends. These are two different things.
Yeah.
You can be begrudgingly friendly with a co-worker. This does not mean you go out for drinks with them.
Yeah, there are people who you are friends with when you're sober, and there are people who you are friends with when you're drunk.
I think Nemina is like Arthur and Xander. Everyone with Nemina by the end of the session, by post-game, are very much like on a level of, okay, you're cool, we trust you're going to do the right thing, and I'm not going to be upset if you talk to me. We are not enemies, but I'm not going to invite you over for...
Yeah.
But I'm not going to invite you over for dinner, you know?
You can sit next to me in class, but you're not invited to my birthday party.
I would... what I'm saying is, I would expect that over time, Arthur and Nemina's characters would grow to be, like, friendly.
They'd come to more of an understanding of each other.
Like, it would reach a point where, since the point of Arthur's character is this maintenance of self-growth and the accepting of, you know, who you are as a person, despite the flaws and difficulties, and I think that could be the route to go further. Now that since Arthur's character has kind of reached this most actualized and perfect version, that the next step is to, instead of attempting to be perfect, is now accepting oneself with the flaws and to live as a person. And
yeah,
I've
always very much preferred this approach of, like, we finish this character's arc, let's give them an additional arc, let's give them a new section of that storyline rather than the arc's done, kill them. You know,
Yeah.
I've always preferred, because you know, it's kind of like life, where it's like, okay, you've finished growing in this respect. Now we grow in another respect, and another, and another, and another, and another. You know.
Yeah.
There's no point at which
People don't
you're
just have
done
one
and
character
die.
arc.
You know, there's no point at which you're done and then you die.
Yeah.
In terms of, my story is
you
complete, no point in continuing to live. That's not something that... That's not a healthy way to look at things.
Yeah, not really.
My story arc is crossing the road without looking.
I'm done with this, we do this now. You know? Anyway, we've got a dramatic reading to do before we discuss what each individual character does in this section of the story.
Welcome to Reading Homestuck Halves.
Welcome to Reading Homestuck fanfiction, written by Arthur. Sorry, Homestuck fanfiction, considering up until this point, this wasn't canon to this, which is Homestuck fanfiction.
Alright, are we ready?
Do you mind if I read the narration?
Don't
Alright,
you need
fuck
to
it,
voice
sure.
Arthur?
He can
Yeah.
ping pong. He can do both.
multiple voices.
Oh, I was looking forward to reading the narration.
Yep, alright, I guess
really
you
like
don't get to. Fuck it, no. Mason, you're reading you're reading Arthur's lines. Fuck it.
You know what? Fine.
Fuck it, that's what we're doing.
Alright. Have fun. Xander stirred the campfire restlessly, feeling like a caged beast prowling in his own mind, the cold biting into him, making his vision even blurrier than it normally was. He felt the wind rattle through him as the fragile flames flickered to the strain of simply being. His frustration built only further as the effort of maintaining the fire sapped what little strength he had left.
You're supposed to keep me alive, not the other way around, you little shit.
He muttered to himself, the words hanging in the air as a cruel and misty reminder of the cold continuing to burrow into him. Then, a soft warmth flooded into him, and the flame began to strengthen and solidify in response to a new presence.
Hello, Zan.
A soft, low voice drifted along the now pleasantly cool air between them.
Any luck with the fire?
What a stupid fucking question. Arthur could clearly see the fire in front of him. It was lit and standing strong, but he also probably knew it was all his presence that kept it that way. Bastard just wanted an excuse to brag, he bet.
Yes, all thanks to your almighty presence.
Xander threw his arms up in mock reverence and watched his shimmering, probable patronizer smile widely.
Great job. I could use a little warmth. It's awfully cold out.
I fucking hate when you do that.
I'm sure you do.
And everything else about you.
At that, Arthur turned to him, and with that ever-present and unendurably genuine positivity, smiled once again. Xander looked away at that. He couldn't stand this new, piercingly perfect Arthur. It was awful.
Xander, everyone I will ever meet from now on is going to love me unconditionally. Every interaction I have is going to be walked away from a better person. Someone hating me is a breath of fresh fucking air.
That was not what Xander had expected from him. Pleasantries and pointlessness was all he'd offered so far for almost 10 days. But this was genuine, resonant. A glimpse of the old broken man he'd lost along the way.
And anyway, you hate everyone you meet. It's hard to take it personally.
He was right, of course. Not bloody wrong anymore.
Yeah, and you're indescribably shallow, so I don't really care to talk to you anymore.
Xander turned away from Arthur with that, unable to bear the parasitic happiness his presence infested with.
I'll admit I've been a little surface level as of late. I'm not entirely sure what to say after going through two separate fanatical devotions. I don't exactly beg it a casual conversation.
Oh, so Mr. Perfect is struggling?
I'm only perfect within myself. I still struggle just as much as everyone else with everyone else.
Subtlety has failed, so I'm going to be as clear as I can. I don't care. Fuck off.
Xander heard a laughter that was soft as bells rattling in the wind, yet as deep and full as the rumbling of a landslide. Another fucking wonderful aspect of that shithead.
Alright, Xander. I'm going to talk to you as genuinely as I can. Do you ever wish you could see the sun?
Great, and we're back to square one with you.
I mean it, Xander. I'm a god now. I am what I worshipped in that time. I'm, in truth, a sun. But unlike all the others, I will not burn you. I'm done dealing miseries on the behalf of others.
There was no one to suffer. He was clearly mad. He had no reason to yearn for the sun because it was bright and shit. And even when he lived in a dark, shitty cave, it was better than burning alive outside.
No, not really. And that's quite bloody egotistical to claim to be a son.
The words caught in his throat as he turned to face Arthur once more. No longer glowing with a soft golden outline, he was truly radiant, and the warmth of his golden light seeped into Xander with a genuine contentment, so foreign he feared he was going to have an allergic response.
I know you suffer, Xander. Day by day, your path brings you to the depths of anguish that only you can truly appreciate, and it will bring all others to scorn you, but I promise you, with everything I have, I will never turn from you. Your life has lacked light, and so I will be your sun. Your life has lacked warmth, and so I beg you to bask in my glow, because, Xander, for only in helping you can I ever again achieve something so selfishly. I implore you, take every advantage of me you can.
Xander stared into his eyes, expecting the repulsive innocence that met his gaze in the days before, mocking what he had lost, only as long as it took to lose it themselves. But he was met with a new gaze. One that knew suffering as he did, but had moved past it. Maybe his friend still lived in this awful monster that took him. He just had to wrench it out day by day.
Sure, Arthur, I will. Now please stop glowing. I want to go to bed.
I'm not fucking you without a shirt and I'm not gay.
Now you see what I mean when I said it was gay as hell. It's been a long time since I read it, so I forgot just how gay it was.
Try writing straight fanfiction. It's not the same.
I'm not saying it shouldn't have been. It should have been.
I quite liked that.
Gay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's a level where it's like there is no other interpretation to this. This isn't even subtle.
That's what straight people be like.
Fucking
Seen
straight
Squid
people.
Game?
What? No, I haven't. So that went over my head.
No, okay.
Anyway, but yes, you do see what I mean, though, audience.
Yeah, and audience, I hope you enjoyed that.
I hope you enjoyed that dramatic reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of flipped the line at the
Shade
end
X
there.
Arthur Pendra fanfiction written by Arthur.
Yeah, what quadrant would they be? Would they be Kismesis? I don't think it's harsh enough.
Yeah. No, that's pretty textbook for what was described almost, at least in terms of Xander's position on things.
Well,
I think they're confused because one guy's really happy about things and the other guy wants to kill himself.
Yeah, it's definitely a matter of, from Arthur's perspective, it's hearts, from Xander's, it's spades.
yeah.
And
they keep ping-ponging back and forth on that.
no, they're not moving from either of their individual spots. It's just a matter of the two don't mesh well together, and it's a matter of they're really. That's the sort of like mini, not so much. I wouldn't call it an arc, more just effectively a running gag almost that is going to be smattered throughout the post game, and probably also from the late game as well. Of like, there's something going on there, and I'm thinking as a part of that gag, everyone except for Masson understands this, because Masson just cannot conceive of the idea, because Masson was there at the fight between Xander and Arthur when Arthur was God tier. Masson can't see anything happening between those two. Everyone else has seen that something is currently happening. But neither of them are willing to say anything about it yet.
Masson is like the anti-auspiticism.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, they're just gonna kill each other. I've accepted this and know this. Meanwhile, they're definitely actually not gonna.
Yeah, Masson's like, I hope Xander wins.
Something much weirder is happening between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And at the very least, Xander is not happy about it. I don't know if Arthur is. That's your decision.
Nah, Masson, you poor little autistic guy.
Poor little autistic guy has not seen that something is happening here.
No one's talking to you. Just drive the car, Masson.
Put the fries in the bag, bro. Put the fries in the bag.
Masson's just driving his Volkswagen Beetle.
Masson would cook
Xander's
the food with his pyrokinesis.
Masson is driving in his Volkswagen Beetle. Xander is sat riding shotgun. Masson just glances away from the road. So why does Arthur call you baby girl? I think we should stop talking for now. Right, so...
I love that.
Now that we have had 5 tangents in a row, let's get back to the current point in time.
I need some
Tangents
water.
that have all given us important pieces of information for this. But we're back to the current point in time. Is there anything else we want to put in general points other than
Just make sure that you put down that Nimona is babysitting. As they say in the business, same motherfuckers sneak diss, same motherfuckers be buddy buddy when we meet.
add to dictionary?
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Bro, there's layers to this one.
Arthur, you've made many hilarious things, but that's definitely got to be top tier.
On screen.
I'm gonna send this to a certain someone who knows who they are.
But yes.
I need to full screen because I'm gonna laugh every time I look at that.
Yeah. So anything else we want to put in this section before we hop back to describe what each individual is doing, other than this large general action of dealing with the Midnight Crew?
No, I think that's good.
I think that covers it for general points.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Good old general points.
So, you know what? Let's just decide that passage there. Does that happen here or later?
How quickly after them going God tier? Because he's been God tier for 10 days. That's what it says.
Yeah, we have a timeline placement.
Alright, and it has been said... Yeah, alright, fuck it. So this takes place during late game. Did it say it was just Arthur who had gone God tier at this point?
Well, I think that was before we'd established... Well, obviously it was before we'd established everybody.
I remember we
together.
did establish that, Arthur goes God tier immediately, immediately after Nimona does.
I think it's just like however long it takes for each of us to get back to our respective lands and just go through with the process.
Well, yeah, but
it's not like we're like,
sure,
I'll just wait until blah, blah, blah.
But you gotta remember, Arthur's is literally like a do-nothing box, and that's why he struggles.
Yeah.
He's a do-something guy in a do-nothing box.
Yeah, and when it comes to going God tier, that's, oh my god, I finally get to do something.
Oh my god, something!
Yeah. Meanwhile, with the others, there's the question of, you know, a bit of uncertainty to it. Because, take back in Homestuck itself, Dave was unsure about going through with God tiering, even though he knew if it worked, which it should have, but he knew it would work, and he knew if it did work, he wouldn't actually be dead. But facing dying even temporarily is pretty difficult for life forms that have any sense of self-preservation, which pre-God tiering had all but been beaten out of Arthur.
I just imagine Masson standing on his quest bed holding his mace, just trying to summon the energy to crack himself in the head with it, but just kind of holding it, shaking.
Yeah, I'm thinking, frankly, when it comes to Masson, Xander would probably assist.
Xander flies down in God tier and just zaps him with his laser eyes.
No, don't worry. I'll just, and then just use his, like, a bit of his new control over his rage energy to just make it a fine point to cleanly decapitate.
It's like when Superman uses his heat vision to do a lobotomy.
Yeah, the multiple times he's done that in various canons. Anyway, so we've established that Arthur's gay-ass fanfiction occurs during late game.
Yeah.
So...
Because I don't think 10 days would pass between Arthur going God tier and Xander going God tier. I feel like this would be a fairly quick turnaround.
I feel like it might be a day, maybe a couple days of maybe umming and ahhing. And that's about it for everyone.
Yeah, and then they meet up again. Neiman is there. We come to a ceasefire.
Yeah, it's very much a ceasefire. I mean, we know Neimana goes God tier before anyone even has the opportunity to process the fight is done. We can now go do some other stuff.
Ah, right, okay.
You know, Neimana's God tiering makes itself known pretty damn quickly. Like, I believe how we described it is basically until Neimana goes, I'm not here to fight, I'm not fighting you anymore. Everyone thinks Neimana showing up means it's a round 2.
Right, okay.
Everyone thinks, oh shit, we've just accidentally activated the boss's second phase.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay.
But yeah, I think about here is where it happens, so...
Ragaf.
Following the events of real Arthur's gay-ass fanfiction...
Capitalize the second F, then it could be a valid troll name. Ragaf.
Ragaf. We'll just pretend the second F is capitalized. I believe that's how you spell... Okay, that's how you spell the word.
Close enough.
So yeah, that's Xander's feelings towards the situation. He's not happy about it at all, which I believe from the explanation of Collisionist feelings in Homestuck is pretty spot on for how it usually goes.
Yippee!
Yippee! Fuck it, let's... How does Arthur feel about all this?
Fine.
Where does Arthur go emotionally after real Arthur's gay-ass fanfiction?
Pretty simply, like, isn't it that this guy can't be unhappy? You know, he's like he's actualized. He's like that's the
This is true, but he will still have emotional reactions to things of different kinds of positive, potentially.
Xander wants to carve the section of his brain out that has the feelings for Arthur. Xander wants to carve out the section of his brain that has feelings for Arthur. Arthur's brain has been poked with a hot needle in such a way that he is always happy.
Yeah.
I like the idea that at least during this phase, Arthur... Okay, what are Arthur's feelings towards Xander at this stage?
Positive.
Can you be a little
I have a
more
positive
descriptive?
mental attitude!
Positive
Can you be a
or the
little
negative?
more specific, please?
Positive or the negative?
Do you think that would create
This
some? Do
does not help.
you think that would create some friction between Arthur and Masson? Because Masson's like, but I'm his friend.
If you wanted to.
I mean,
Drama.
we want Masson getting
And
friend
Opel
jealous.
would love the drama. That gives
Opel
Opel
would
something to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
She'd be rebelling. Just, we can literally just summarize Opal's stuff now. Just reveling in the drama. That is all we need.
There we go, that's that
She's
section
making
done.
popcorn.
Yeah. Sit back, get a bucket, watch.
Find the optimal butter to salt ratio.
So, let's actually get down here what Arthur Pendra's feelings are.
Let's
On
get
this.
down to business.
In specifics, please.
Okay, like, everything is positive, but there's like a deeper satisfaction to knowing that there is someone out there that can have a negative experience with him still, and so there's still a reason to try. Kind of thing. Like, it's not just gonna immediately come naturally. It's like finding out there's still more to something you'd already, fallen in love with.
It's like there's so
it's like
much
finding
more.
there's
Maybe
another
you've been to this place before.
Yes, thank you, Mason.
another facet to your, favorite hobby, that kind of thing.
So, okay. Basically, what I'm trying to discern here is, does Arthur Pendra have any feelings towards Xander Shade on a similar level to Xander's feelings towards him?
I would say not initially, but as soon as he finds out about Xander's feelings, he's like, yeah, I'm willing to explore this idea.
Okay, because see, here's the thing, Xander will never voice this.
Yeah, exactly,
Xander,
but there are
at the
ways to
very
find
least,
out.
Until way later in the story, Xander will work his fucking ass off to make sure no one knows about it. Like, I'm thinking he probably might have told Masson, and I think Xander and Julian are becoming solid friends at this point. Mm-hmm. So he's probably told Julian and Masson, but even though they are his closest friends, has pointed his shotgun at them and gone, if you tell a soul, especially him, I will not stop until you stop respawning. I will keep firing until you just don't get back up.
You'll die over and over again.
So, I think Julian and Masson aren't going to tell him.
No, I mean, I don't. What's the one who's reveling in the?
Do you think
Opal.
Arthur has?
Opal's reveling in the.
Yeah. Do we think
Opel
Arthur
cannot
has a
find out
presence-
because Opel will definitely tell Arthur.
Oh no, it's a matter of Opel definitely knows, but doesn't want to tell Arthur because that would ruin the drama.
Oh yeah, because
There's
it's more fun.
If those two communicate their feelings to each other, that's not drama. That's
Of course.
normal relationship with another living being. However, if it's unspoken, ooh, the drama, ooh, this is good, soap opera level shit. Like, she can hear in her own head, she can hear the unnecessarily overdramatic soundtrack to any time Arthur and Xander are in the same room. Even if it's Arthur walking through the room to go to the loo and Xander sat there reading a book, not even noticing Arthur's walked in.
Elbows on table, chin on palms.
Yeah, and there's Opal in the back of the room doing that. What?
Yeah.
You know, just grinning
just
to
kicking
herself
her
because
legs under the table.
She's already writing the soap opera of this. Even though, again, Arthur was walking through the room to go towards the loo, and Xander didn't even notice he was there. Because he was reading. So, okay, they're not gonna tell him. It's really a matter of, do we think Arthur has the presence of mind to really, like, look for this genuine feeling towards him, rather than the feelings of others that are affected by him being a beacon of hope? It's a matter of, does Arthur have the presence to phase out the possibility of it just being, oh, Xander just got affected by the thing again, like everyone else, or like to notice that there is something going on there, so to speak? Do we think Arthur is the kind of person who would look for that? Because even fully actualized people may not look for that.
I think no, until a later point in which maybe there's like at the point where he would have died and comes back, and there's kind of a difference in the way everyone regards him. In that change, he might understand something. That might
so for now,
turn some gears.
For
but
now. Recognize. Recognize.
So, hey, just to check, are we writing both late game and end game for this?
That is the plan, yes. We did get very sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's a good thing though that we have a good chunk of the drama of Endgame already written. Thank you, Mason.
Yeah. All I was gonna say was I'm gonna have to dip eventually, just because.
All right. Let's do Julian.
My parents need to go to bed, so I can't.
What is Julian up to in the late game? What is she up to aside from the kill the Midnight Crew mission?
I'd say Julian is probably trying to lean a bit deeper into the like light aspect, and trying to actually like figure out the game. And Julian's probably the one who figures out.
Yeah, she's probably the one. I think, probably Julian is the one who figures it out initially, but maybe doesn't quite get all the pieces together. But then when she says it to Xander and Arthur, Mage putting pieces together. Oh, no, that's what that means. Oh shit, we fucked up. And by we, I mean Damasa fucked up.
And that creates...
And Nimona. Damasa and Nimona fucked up. Big time. Though we knew half of that easily.
And that facilitates more actions between Julian and Damasa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're gonna have a fight. Actually.
They're gonna cause a problem. They're gonna
have a fight, not a duel, you know? Difference.
Yeah.
What else do we think she's doing? I think I discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we think she's also becoming better friends with Arthur? Outside of, again, the whole every experience is with Arthur, Pendra is inherently made more positive by him being in the state he's in?
I think yes and no. I think because like obviously light aspect, so she has like some knowledge of like, okay, things are being affected. Like I feel like I'm being like influenced. Maybe she's able to slightly see through that veil.
Yeah, not completely counter it, but it's more like It's more like if you've taken drugs and you are in a state of mind where you think, okay, I know I have taken drugs. What I'm experiencing right now is the
Julian be like, I see what's happening, yeah. I'm face to face with Arthur and it's strange. Bit too late in the day for me to hit the correct pitch there.
Yeah. It's fine, don't worry. We know what you meant.
I try.
You're very trying, and we appreciate that, Mason.
These are trying times.
You know what trying times go for? Trying
Fish.
even more.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I was like,
It goes for
trying measures?
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Anything else we think for Julian for late game? Other than, basic battle preparations and again, the kill the Midnight Crew mission?
Not killing the Midnight Crew.
Alright. I think one thing I thought of for Nimona is he is the only member of this crew who actually goes and completes his planet's intended quest.
Yeah,
He's the only one
definitely.
who goes back to do his planet's quest, which is to heal the land, calm the deadly flames of Hades, and help the consorts of this world out of hiding. Basically, heal the burning shit.
Yeah.
Why is that a bigger font size than everything else? That is strange.
Made a bit more difficult by the fact that Prospit's also crashed into the world.
Yeah. He has his work cut out for him after all.
So he has to put in the effort on his steps to redemption.
Indeed.
And that is narratively satisfying.
Indeed.
As according to Rule 1 of the Pixar Rules of Storytelling, you appreciate a character more for trying than actually succeeding. So by that logic, I should be very appreciated because I try a lot. Do I succeed? Absolutely not.
You succeeded today.
Yeah, it's a nice change
You
of pace.
did cook. It just needed a little bit of extra seasoning from a helping hand over here.
I've got a little bit of dessert as well, but it's less narratively relevant and more just like a little fun detail.
Hey, fuck it. We'll mention it when we get there.
Yeah.
I delight to see you cooking, Mason.
It's nice to cook. As I said to Alex earlier, I'm like Batman with prep time. I just needed to be out of the episode to come up with good ideas. Because when I'm put on the spot, I'm not very good at coming up with things.
No, I get that. I'm very similar.
But now that I've done my homework and I know a bit more about, how Homestuck works, I can actually come up with more, founded ideas.
I figured some stuff for D'Amato when we're ready.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, that's a point, actually. Denizens. Basically, with the denizens, it's a matter of... Let's start off with... Do the characters actually listen to their denizens at all, or do they start fighting? And this isn't necessarily a right or wrong question. It's more a matter of, how would these characters interpret these big fucking monsters who are allegedly who are seemingly and continually pointed out to be the cause of the pain on their planet, on their land. So let's start with Xander. Xander would easily. Let's start with Xander from the top down.
Yeah.
Xander would easily go, "You're a big threat. Fuck you." Julian.
Julian, I think would. I think going through deciphering the game, would definitely realize, yeah, these are definitely threats. Probably best to take it out.
All right. You know what? I'll just. And then. Arthur. How would Arthur Pendra react to his denizen?
I mean, initially, pre-God tier, incredibly happy that there's something to do, and like immediately being like, I gotta kill this motherfucker right now. Then, if hasn't already killed them by that point, if there is need for a diplomatic solution, the willingness to attempt it. If not,
there is no need for a diplomatic solution. However, there's not really a major strong advantage to one option over the other. There is no right or wrong choice here. It's more a matter of how would Arthur interpret this.
I think it might be a matter of maybe starts being like, okay, I'm just excited that there's something to kill. Tries killing it, maybe doesn't succeed, comes back as a God tier, almost kills it, kind of not without effort, but with scarily little compared to what would have had to have been expended before.
It's more like, very much. It's something to show how much more powerful Arthur is as a God tier compared to pre-God tier sort of thing. Of like,
and then realizes
before he could not do this. Now he is well beyond the point where he can do it.
Yeah, and then this kind of understanding of I don't need to kill you. I'm, how about we, I can kill you. There is no need to. Give me what I need, and you can live your life, and I will live mine.
Okay. Okay, so if anyone engages in conversation with their denizen, they're going to get their choice, which is basically it's basically like the denizen makes the character choose something, whether that be to choose between two distinct paths of action, or to choose either one distinct path of action or don't do that. But if it's that kind of a choice, it's usually a seemingly impossible path of action that does not make much sense, but will at some point become clear in what they meant.
Okay.
So what do
and maybe the choice is maybe it's something as simple as kill me or die, and he says, I cannot die. It's like the idea of I cannot die, and the guy's just like, you'll see. Kind of just foreshadow that. Something that simple. Maybe, I don't know, what would the denizen of this, what's the land?
Soft and silent. It's a giant pillow.
But the denizen does very much, not necessarily... The denizen's choice is not necessarily related to the land. It is a matter of where the character's going.
Yeah. I'm wondering what would the denizen be as well? What would you expect it to be?
All of the denizens are just big snakes.
Big snakes? Alright, yeah.
They're just big snakes with faces.
Alright, then it'd just be like...
It's just a big snake. So what... In terms of, Arthur's path from this point... Or overall, what do you think the choice would be for Arthur? Be that, again, a branching path of, you could choose to do this or choose to do that, but I'm holding you to this? Or Is it a choice of you can do nothing and stay as you are, or I'm going to give you the option to do this big, very, like, esoteric, possibly impossible seeming thing?
An interesting question. Well, it might... to him, it should be presented as something that seems esoterically impossible. Because from this point, maybe instead of die, maybe it's kill me or fail. And he's like, I cannot fail, so if I choose not to kill you, then your choice is null and void. And he's like, yeah, so there you go. That kind of idea. And that's he kind of argues back, and the guy's like, all right, you have chosen to fail. And then...
Ooh, that's given me a really good idea, actually. I'll get back to that one. That's a good idea. I love this. I love where this is going. It's given me an idea that slightly shifts... That... I'll just tell you, it's got to do with Rainbow Drinker Xander. We'll get back to it. But...
Okay.
I am only a consultant at this point. I don't know. I am not the guy who gets stuck in homes, so feel free to write things how you see them.
You wouldn't find me locked in my house.
You wouldn't get stuck at home.
You wouldn't download a home.
You wouldn't leave your keys outside despite locking the door.
You wouldn't put your keys under the doormat.
Nimina would easily accept the choice, because he is very much like, okay, guns blazing, going in guns blazing is the worst possible idea. I should not do that. I am going in there, and we are going to talk.
Even ride a motorcycle into the planet.
Okay, what would Nimina's choice be?
I feel like it should be foreshadowing of the.
What
the
if
Lazarus.
actually hold on. Now, how far into everyone else's choices have you gotten? Sorry, just to make sure I'm not making you. Pardon?
We are immediately after Arthur's.
So have you done anyone else's yet?
No one else has actually been given... No one else has listened to their denizen long enough to hear their choice yet. Xander
Okay,
and
I wonder...
immediately killed theirs.
I wonder if then, should Nimina get the exact same choice, and both of them react in this same way of like, I can't fail, you know, I can't fail these people, I can't fail. Like a narrative parallel?
Maybe, but I think it would
And
make
they are
sense.
both Hookbound.
Now, here's the thing. I like the idea that both of them respond effectively with the phrase, I can't fail, but they mean two different things by it and hence go with two different options. Arthur effectively picks fail, but believes it won't happen. Nimina hears that choice and goes, well, I can't fail these people, so I have to kill you. And then kills his denizen, taking the Gristhold.
Yeah, that works perfectly. Yeah.
Like Arthur's like, I can't fail, and Nimina's like, I can't fail.
I can't fail them. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. That's really
Nice, very nice, very nice, Arthur Champ.
That's my name. Wear it out.
Alright, Masson. What's Masson doing in general?
Well, there's the little rivalry with Arthur about friendship with Xander, but that's kind of, you know, that's just a little like Masson just being like, oh, well, he's my friend. Masson just being generally unaware of the dynamic burgeoning between Arthur and Xander.
Masson gets a little butthurt.
He's a little butthurt. And he's driving the car.
Keep mentioning on my aim till.
I don't know what you said, and I'm scared to know.
You don't need to know.
I virgin on my aim till I.
Yeah. Ironic. Because Masson's generally, like, excluding Arthur literally being a beacon of positivity, Masson's generally one of the more positive people.
He's a bit butthurt, but it's not gonna, like, really affect how he talks to or sees Arthur. It's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
well, I'm a little sad, but...
Oh, it just means more friendship for Xander. Cool.
That guy
Meanwhile...
needs more friends. Meanwhile, Xander's just there like, no, 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 no. Ah!
Back at it with another one. You know we love the help!
Help! Help me! Help!
Oh god.
And all of Xander's kids are just sat in the back of the cabin like, dude, our dad needs help. Our dad needs serious help. Holy shit.
Help me!
Somebody get him some couples counselling. Holy fuck. Because all of them have figured it out as well. Literally,
Yeah.
Masson is the only life form in the session that does not see that something's going on.
Yep.
But yeah. So,
Hey guys, what's going on? No one's talking to you, just drive the car, Masson.
just drive the car. No. Like he tries asking about it, but everyone's like, is he gonna say try and end the comedy of this whole situation? Let's not tell him. Nothing's happening, Masson. Just drive the car.
Okay. Flicks indicator. Why are you indicating? We're driving through nothing.
We're in space. There's no road.
What do you think that meteor's gonna give you right of way?
Okay.
I like that line. I just came up with that now, actually. I had a driving lesson this
good.
morning, so it's fresh in my memory.
Oh,
Do you think that meteor's gonna give you right of way? Is good, honestly.
Don't be right in my way.
So we're thinking Masson basically just is chauffeuring his friends around, because I'm imagining even though they can fly, the Volkswagen Beetle is a bit faster.
Yeah, and they
Because
can.
it's boosted by them all being god tier and flying with it, effectively. They've effectively stuck jet thrusters on the fucking car. They haven't literally, but in terms of like how much of a speed boost it gets.
Yeah, 'cause I
from
mean,
having all these god tiers in it as well, or being piloted by a god tier, it's going a lot faster.
Masson's already driven to and from Durst in this thing. This is his third Durst-related journey. He knows the way. He knows which which meteors will give him right of way. I think there's an A in that word somewhere.
Fucking
Cheat. There it is.
yeah, fuck it. This works. This will work.
Ah, the French.
Fuck you, France. Okay. Denizen.
I think Masson would be more inclined to listen to his denizen, because from the perspective of the denizen being the problem with the land, Masson's also kind of been a bit of a problem because he's been going around accidentally
it's just
killing
like, well,
turtles.
I might as well listen to him. I've done just as much damage.
Now, what would the choice be?
Extraneous commas. That's a habit I've had for ages. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm a comma guy.
I'm a major comma.
I'm a comma chameleon. They come and go.
Ha.
So, what do we think Massen's choice is? I think, by the way, June, I think we know that Syriza and Damaso are killing their denizens.
Yeah.
Opo
without even a second thought.
Yeah. Damaso's just like, oh, big thing. And Syriza's
I
like,
was gonna test this on Julin, but
well, no, you gotta make sure it works. So you'll do.
Ooh, target practice. Giant target that can't move. Not very good target practice, but
not like I care. Bang. Anyway, what do we think Massen's choice is? Where do you think his arc will take him? Because as a page, his choice is going to be the hardest.
yeah.
All of his options, choice-wise, are going to seem daunting, to say the least. Or so cryptic he can't figure out what they're supposed to be.
I feel like he'd be offered the choice and it would be so cryptic that he wouldn't be able to understand it, and he wouldn't want to waste time trying to figure it out, so he'd just be like, no, I don't know what that means, so I guess not, sorry. And then eventually he'd get to the point and he'd be like, oh, that's what they meant, fuck.
Yeah. I think that then will be code for, we will tell you what Massen's choice is when it's relevant. AKA, way later, because we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely planned everything from the beginning.
Yep, very
Clearly.
planned. All planned. Ignore the discussion we had earlier about what direction to take things. No, we all knew where it was supposed to go, and that was staged, actually. That was a bit.
Yerp.
I think it's funnier if it's like he doesn't want to waste his denizens' time asking
Yeah.
them to explain it.
Listen, you seem very busy being a giant snake thing, so I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna go.
I think I parked in a 1 hour only spot, so I don't want to get a ticket. So, because as we know, the Midnight Crew are very, very concerned about parking
Traffic
regulations.
zoning rules. Yeah.
They get real mad.
Or at least this Midnight Crew are.
Yeah. Well, weren't they all butthurt about John's dad's car crashing onto the Land of Wind and Shade?
Well, yes, but to be fair, that was a crash landing. And that, actually, no, that was just the authority regulator. That was
right,
just-
yeah.
That was just Courtney. And that was kind of his job to be concerned about that.
Okay.
You know?
Well, still, Masson
so-
doesn't want to get a ticket, so he's out of there.
He still doesn't want to get a ticket, so.
He straight up pulls a Sonic CD. He goes, "I'm out of here."
I'm out of here, and then he except that would be
Gets out of
wasting
there.
time. Funnily enough,
Yeah.
his trip into the denizens area. He gets the choice. He gets offered the choice exactly 2 minutes and 55 seconds after he arrives.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm out of here. Anyway, Syriza. What's Syriza up to in general?
I think, yeah, just exploring more of her planet. I was thinking maybe she'd explore some of Skya as well. Like, Julian sent her to go, like, find some stuff on Skya, like, just find out, like, what's going on Skya.
Investigate the crashed prospect.
Yeah, and inevitably this will somehow lead into a fight with whatever remaining Prospitian and Dursite forces. that aren't, of course, like the Black King.
Yeah.
Maybe she does see the Black King though, and is like, that's what we're up against. Cool.
Yeah, that's
shit. Whee! And runs away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, get us set up for the Black King fight.
I'm thinking she also spends some time helping Xander out with his kids, considering I think, you know.
Yeah, that
they got
too.
on well
That
while
too.
She was helping there.
All of this can happen.
Opal's like, these little guys are so cute, and Cerise's like, yeah, can you actually help me take care of them?
Hey, can you actually do something, you fucking bitch?
Can you contribute?
Let's not forget.
They are kismesis. That's
That's
how she would say it. It's just like, yeah, can you actually fucking help me, you bitch?
Meanwhile, Xander and Master are fighting Arthur, and Julian and Damaster are fighting Demona. Can you fucking help, please?
Can you
Just
help me?
please? Please.
No.
5 seconds.
I'm gonna log into Twitter now. Everybody, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Shut up!
Shut
Fuck
up!
up! Shut up! Shut! We didn't say anything. Shut up! Anyway, but yeah, okay. Basically, I'm thinking Cerise's just sort of like she's just kind of hanging out, for a lack of a better term.
She's kind of hanging out, but also she does a little bit of like actual like moving the story forward, so she can actually do something for once.
Yeah, we like
So
it when characters do things.
make her do something that isn't us retconning the story a little bit to make her in any way relevant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oops. Made a mistake.
Also,
there.
make sure to note down that Julian told her to go to Square. Thank you.
Request bracket orders.
No, it's a request.
Well, no, Julian's requesting, but
brackets,
Cerisa
she thinks
views
that
it as an
She
order.
interprets them as orders.
Yeah. My cat is here.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so Opal, we've got everything she's doing. She's kind of being a bit lazy for this section of the story, effectively.
She's alive.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I can tell you for a fact that if we go with the little dessert that I cooked up, Oprah will definitely have something to do in the next portion of the story. But we will get there when we get there.
Ooh, okay. So, Oprah. What is her reaction to her death? What does she do? Does she go with all of the other girls and Xander and just fucking slaughter them? Or does she also listen?
I think she'd listen, but whether she'd like take on board what he's saying, I'm not sure.
This is nice. We've got half of us listen and half of us murder. Definitely more balanced than the Dream Planet ratio.
So lonely. Okay, so Opal's. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Opal's choice. First off, you said she might not listen. Does Opal listen to her choice at all? Because if not, we might as well not even figure out what it is.
I think she like listens to it for like a minute and then goes, I'm bored.
Don't care.
She just gets bored and leaves. Okay.
Either gets bored and leaves, or gets bored and maybe not slays her. I think she'd have a bit of trouble. doing that. She's not exactly the strongest. This, in contrast to who she's originally based on.
The disrespect. The raw disrespect. Opal's arc is very much post-game. It's very much going to be Opal's arc is chill out on. You're not actually like calm down. Other people deserve any degree of respect. Maybe.
I respect the disrespect.
So Damasa, what does Damasa do in general?
Damasa. Okay. Obviously, we know
stated.
that. Other than previously stated, and the fact that she'll definitely kill a denizen. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think she throws herself into making more and more fucked up weapons.
Oh, so Damasa tries to effectively like win back Julian's affections of just look, I built this giant turbo cannon to kill you with. Please love me.
Yes. Unironically.
I made this one look like a frog. No, see, I do care about frogs.
No, here's the thing, June, I love this idea because I love the idea of Damasa builds all of these big weapons and Julian goes, I'm not forgiving you. What, you fucked everything up. For God's sake, do something of value with this, please. And Damasa effectively throws a tantrum, goes down to her denizen, the denizen just goes, ah yeah, and then she just obliterates it with sundering firepower.
Mm-hmm.
Time for a little power play of my own.
I also think, like, to make up for the frog thing, she, like, tries and she makes a bunch of frog equipment. I think this will fix the problem. Alright.
And it doesn't.
Froggy trench coat, except it's got a hood on it. So
it's just Team Sonic Racing Overdrive, the froggy cart.
It's a froggy trench coat with a hood, so you can see the frog eye, like. Basically, what I'm advocating for is putting Damasa in a frog hood.
In a frog hoodie, yep. I will be making that between episodes.
Instead of a god hood, a frog hood. Straight up Super Mario Brothers 3 frog suit.
Are we moving on to Endgame immediately after this?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, cool. If it's alright with you, am I okay to go through the stuff that I have control of first? Because
of course.
Of course. Which, funnily enough, the best part of this is her not bothering to take her Grist Horde is effectively her doubling down on fucking it up, because you need all of the Grist Hordes one way or the other to perform the ultimate alchemy properly.
Yeah.
Which, it already wasn't possible. But, like, it's just adding insult to injury in a sense. But yeah, she effectively beats her denizen through sundering artillery tantrum.
Yeah.
Endgame.
Endgame.
Let's start. Wait, hang on, let me just double check we've got everything. Kind of thing. Yep. Yep.
So.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. Alright. Endgame. How do we deal with our versions of. Well, he's dead.
He's dead.
Of the Black Queen and the Black King. How does our session look by the end? All that, all that sort of stuff. Prospect. Well, we know where Prospect is at. We know where Prospect's at. It's over there and over there.
It's your parting
How
gift.
long was the session start to finish? We already decided that. And what was our session special number? We'll decide that way later. We'll decide that right at the end. That'll be our last concluding point.
So, Julian figures out that we need to do a scratch. I think is the main thing that she realizes, and then obviously later in general points you can put that Julian tells people about that, but it is literally Julian consolidating all of her knowledge and then prepping the session for that eventuality.
And if I may quickly interject with my dessert.
Of course. The dessert?
You know how in the original session, there was the giant turntable thingy on Dave's planet that they physically needed to scratch?
Yeah,
for this session,
the scratch artifact is on Massen's planet.
No. I was gonna say it should be on Opal's planet. And it should be a giant scratch card, like a lottery scratch card.
Oh, now I do
That's kind of fun.
that idea.
Fuck it,
we're breaking the rules, motherfucker.
And then we could take it. We can take it to the land of cliffs and turtles and use one of the mountains to scratch it.
Yeah. We'll just say it has to happen on that land. So I'm thinking in terms of how the scratch is done. I'm thinking this is how Julian and Damasa make up. Damasa's just okay, there's a way we can fix this. I'm helping you to fix this. I need to make up for what I did, and that's how they kind of at least begin to repair that relationship. Okay.
Low pack.
Well, it's low.
That's just
The land of platinum and cards.
Opal's land. We'll say for the scratch to occur, we'll just say that the artifact does need to be planted into the land.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be of that land. It can just be transported and then just javelin hucked into the dirt.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
Definitely fits with the interplanetary collision theme of our session.
Okay.
As though it were always meant to happen.
Okay. I've got an idea for how the final battles happen, because there's technically two, because nothing's been done about the Black Queen's ring yet. So here's my idea. In a divide and conquer strategy, I'm thinking the initial plan come up with is everyone goes to fight the Black Queen and then uses Nimena's healing ability to recuperate as best as possible and then charge the Black King. However, during the start of the fight with the Black Queen, I'm thinking everyone's getting bashed around, things are not looking good. And this is where Nimena realizes, oh wait, no, hang on, what if I got bullet time and my healing ability, and I put them together, and he goes Sunform. And then effectively, Nimena just lets out a wave of hope energy that heals everyone back to full from that fight and says, you lot go, let me solo her. And Sunform Nimena versus the Black Queen is just a fight that happens there. But in doing this, it wipes out most of Nimena's energy, hence why at the end of the Black King fight, he arrives, but is unable to do any direct healing.
Yeah.
Or a huge
That
amount
makes
of it.
sense. I like that.
It renders him at a very low level of power, because usually a Sylph of Hope, especially in a battle with another Hope bound, usually that would end up being effectively a self-fueling battery of healing. However, if Neiman is already wiped out by the time he arrives, he won't have enough energy to heal Arthur from his near-death injury, thus meaning he has to resort to his Lazarus ability.
I don't have enough power to turn into my super form.
I already did that, like, yesterday. I did that, like, 2 hours ago. It feels like I broke every bone in my body.
It sucks.
I'm in incredible pain. Okay, so... that one's a higher font size as well. Weird.
I guess Nimina likes to have higher font sizes, I guess.
You could have it be so maybe Arthur was sent to hold off the Black King while the others fought the Black Queen as well.
Yeah, and then the other 6 come and reinforce him quickly. Where's Nimina? Oh, he's just dealing with the Queen solo. Long story, we'll get to it later. Let's focus on the fucking actual problem right now.
And it has another little parallel there of both of them being solo against one of the enemies.
Yeah.
Just sprinkling in more little parallels between Arthur and
However,
Nimina.
during running interference, I don't think Arthur will have taken a huge amount of damage because he is very much working as a distraction, and he's ludicrously fast. Him buzzing around as just a fly around the Black King, not actually getting hit, but just keeping him in one spot, trying to swat him. It's a good strategy that would work relatively well.
Yeah, because the Black King...
and that's also why he would have a low enough energy that he would eventually end up taking some significant hits.
Yeah, because
He
they're
could
very...
even take a hit trying to defend someone else.
Yeah. They're very tanky and they're very powerful, but they don't have much like offensive potential. Like they don't really have any like long range abilities. It's all like the just the radiation and the claws from the Triclop. And a vendetta against Arthur because once again, excavator.
Yep.
Also, by that same logic, would they have like sort of conflicting quadrant-esque feelings for Julin, Cereza, Opal, and Damasa because of the Julasa statue?
We decided with that one, it's not a matter of it's Julin and Damasa, it's a matter of it's their personalities fused into this weird Cronenberg personality of the two that's just generally uncomfortable and disturbing for anyone who knows both of them. Or either of them individually. Here's an idea though. I'm gonna slightly alter it. When it comes to how Arthur gets gravely wounded, here's an idea. The Black King is looking very strong. The Black King's looking very strong. Everyone's reinforced. Neiman has finished his fight with the Black Queen and has arrived to see if he can do any healing, anything that can be of worth. But because there was no safe place to put the kids, they ended up having to effectively come along and be guarded by this now weakened Neiman. Arthur and Xander both get smacked by the Black King. And both go rocketing to the ground. Both. Arthur dying, Xander outright dead.
Yeah. And that fulfills their sort of like not their arc, but it kind of like
there's kind of
brings
foils. They both
brings to a
the
peak
ground.
their relationship.
But
Okay.
here's the thing. Arthur is being kept alive by the Lazarus ability. He can't go back into the fight right now. He is barely clinging to life with Nimina. Barely just managing to get him up to a point where he can, like, open his eyes at all. Arthur has failed. And I'm imagining in the comic style, we do a quick cut to Xander's, like, death clock. Swings to just, swings to heroic. Swings to just, swings to heroic. Stops. And then the pendulum starts glowing white and gets dragged back to the center as Xander awakens as a rainbow drinker and just blasts into the Black King, creating and smashes straight into the jewel of the cooling device, effectively, the cooling thing, thus causing the reactor within the Black King to start to grow unstable, rendering it a lot more open to attack. Effectively, in that moment, Xander creates the tiny opening that allows victory to happen, even though Arthur's failed.
And I guess it leaves it up to...
It leaves it up to...
ladies and Masson to...
The ladies, Masson, and Xander, because Xander is...
And Xander.
Xander is not only fighting fit, but significantly buffed by his transformation. The Hope guys are just in the background. However, I'm thinking the transformation does give Arthur a little bit of strength so that he can somewhat get back in the fight. He is nowhere near full power. It is a matter of Xander's kids seeing him die and then come back from the dead stronger than ever is enough hope that Arthur can get back up and fight a bit. He is a lot weaker than he should be.
Here's a really easy narrative thing you could do. What if both of them die and it's the death of Hope? There you go, chapter names, whatever name.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's that amount of hope that allows him to not be fully dead.
Yeah. It's that amount of hope that lets the Lazarus ability sort of spark up and lets Arthur get back up and kind of fight. Again, he's nowhere near full power. He's not even at the point he was at the beginning of his story. He is weak, but he can do something.
Yeah.
He can participate in some way.
Quickly just rattle off the stuff for like Cereza.
Yeah.
Of course.
Just so that I can go.
All right, you got it.
So I think Cereza definitely is. I think the skirmishing does continue. As she's trying to like find more stuff, because maybe she's just like, this isn't enough information. I need to find more. And she's like relaying this as best she can back to Julian.
I'm thinking at certain points when the information is spotty. This is before the Black King fight, of course.
Yeah, of course.
When the information is a bit spotty, Julian just takes the information to Arthur and Xander and is like, okay, we gotta work together to figure out what the fuck this means.
Yes. And I think also once like it becomes like apparent that the Black King needs to be fought, she maybe probably tries to help out Xander with like trying to get the kids to someplace safe.
But the only place they can figure out would be wherever Neiman is sat at, because we're gonna have to be fighting, and we don't know if some hidden Dursite agent is gonna be sent to drag Xander away from the fight using them. They gotta be here with us.
Exactly. then for Opal, I think it's Julian has a conversation with Opal, basically saying, "Get off your ass, find this thing, find this scratch card."
I'm gonna on this one, Opal is ordered.
Yeah, it's like, it's not a request, it's a, you need to find this, get off your ass, fucking join whatever drama you're into. And then once it's located, relay that information to me so I can go get it. And I think she definitely has a moment where she's like, "I can't believe you're ordering me around. Wow, really?" Something like
I thought we were Moirails.
I think the argument on that one starts off with, we're Moirels, we should just have these conversations and ask each other to do things. But by the end of the conversation, before Julian basically just snaps at Opal and tells her, "Get off your fucking ass and do this right now, you piece of shit," I'm thinking Opal basically pulls the Violet Blood card. I'm higher up than I'm a Violet Blood. You can't tell me what to do. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, it's on the level where Cereza would immediately lose all colliginous feelings towards her and just kill Opal if she heard that.
Yeah. Perfect. Alright, I've got to go.
Do you quickly want to see Sunform Nimina or anything else that you might have to show?
Yes. First
Yeah.
off, I'll show
live reaction.
Kazanda in
I
the
think I
three
might
different
have
looks here.
I think I might have seen them already, because
Basic buff.
Alex likes to share things with me.
Yes, it was a while ago, and I
You get things shared with you.
look, it was a long time ago, and I knew it wouldn't be. I knew it would be well over a year before I got to show these off. Here is Sunform Nimina, both in his normal look and without his hat and scarf.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I hadn't seen the second one. That's neat.
Yeah,
Right.
I gave them sort of like the same kind of animation they give to Supersonic in the classic games. Because
Beautiful.
that was the original basis of the form.
Love
As
it.
an idea.
Right. I'm
Indeed.
gonna head off for now, and I'm gonna get all the audio uploaded.
Okay, we'll see you later, Jude.
Cute.
Yeah. See ya. Sorry about this, guys.
It's
I
fine.
will-
It's fine.
Hey,
It's
no
absolutely
worries.
fine.
No worries. We'll round it out.
Cheers. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
Okay, we'll get back here.
Nice.
So the thing is, basically, in doing that, in destroying the crystal, Xander has effectively massively debuffed the king's defense, so yeah, we can deal damage, but the king's attack output has also been cranked up. So hits are gonna hurt way fucking more, especially from things like, you know, the psychic attacks, particularly things like the eye beams, the fire breath that I believe the turtleness has had. You know, those are cranked up. Effectively, defense down, special defense down, special attack way the fuck up.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But in terms of where Xander's power is at now as a Rainbow Drinker, where Arthur is going to be at for most of the story from here on, Xander's on a par on almost all statistics, effectively. When Arthur is at full power, Xander is a bit slower than him, a bit weaker than him, but does have the range advantage with the eye beams.
Yeah.
But yeah. Xander is definitely going to try and vent some of that, some of the frustration of his collisionist feelings by occasionally making fun of Arthur for now being weaker than him.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, let's hop back to Xander, Arthur, and Masson. But let's go for Arthur. What's Arthur doing for most of the end game? Okay, we did say. Okay. Is there anything else Arthur does, like, before that?
Like, does anything of particular note happen when we fight the Midnight Crew?
Or, like, I think we basically decided, since the Midnight Crew don't actually have any significant power, and this is 8 god tiers, multiple of which have very powerful psychic abilities,
Wait,
and
does everybody
all of
go
which
god?
have very...
Yeah, everyone's been
well,
god tier
well,
since the beginning of this video.
Everyone's been god tier since... I think we decided everyone was going to go god tier back in the first video, frankly.
Yeah, we decided everyone was going to go god tier, and then the point in the story where they went god tier was before we started here today.
Well, technically not
on this
last
day.
video. The video beforehand. Video before last, technically.
Video back in, like, September or October or whenever it was.
I think it was August.
Actually, yeah, it was August. I'm thinking of the Friendsim of the Spurbsim video.
Anyway, does Arthur do anything in particular before going to distract the Black King during the end game?
Probably not. No.
Alright. I guess that's his entry. What does Masson do? In the end game. If anything significant.
Well, they've gone and fought the Midnight Crew, and then we go and deal with the Black Queen and the White, the Black King.
The Black King,
yeah. The White King and Queen are dead, very dead.
Oh yeah, no, they died in the crash. Yeah. I'd be willing to say the White Queen's ring and the Black King's scepter either crushed entirely under rubble, or at the very least buried under enough rubble that no one has gotten to it yet. They're just
definitely
gonna
buried
sit there in this dead session.
Yep. Rip Bozo.
rip. They're just gonna sit there until the scratch erases this session from existence.
Damn.
But we'll get to that. So, does Masson do anything in particular, or are we just gonna put like a no particular action?
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't really do a lot. Maybe. I'm trying to think about when we should get our first Lewis Masson appearance, because I feel like
they've kind of been here and there throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, like maybe he got.
They've kind of been scattered here and there.
Because it would have to be after God tier.
It would have to be after God tier, but I'm thinking. I'll just specify here.
I think the first like significant one, the first one where he gets like actual like advice on what course of action to take, should be during the Black King battle. Because obviously he's a page, so it's going to take a long time for him to like fully realize it. But I think that's his first step. Like he'll be driving the car, everybody will be bickering in the background, and then he'll just see like
kind of Lewis Masson. I'm thinking
Arthur. You remember?
Dashboard. I'm chilling on like the hood of the car.
I was thinking more like the Sleeping Slaves arc of Golden Wind, where Mister's driving the car and he keeps seeing the stone like on the sidewalk. Yeah. The rolling stone, like something like that, and then maybe eventually Lewis ends up on the dashboard.
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna visions of Lewis Masson have been smattered throughout late in Endgame. Okay, yeah. We'll specify it here. What do we think Lewis actually does in terms of advice in the Endgame, in the final fight?
It's like kind of guiding Masson on a path that will keep him alive, basically. Like, oh, the Black King launches an attack and Masson's like, oh, I need to dodge this way, but he sees like Lewis moving the other way and he's like, oh, okay, I'll go that way then, and that works out for him. Like just little bits here and there that kind of spare him from a few attacks.
I'm thinking.
But I don't think they're at a point where they can like properly speak to one another.
Yeah. So, okay, they can't speak to one another, but Lewis is very much guiding Masson, sort of like after images, but like, of course, before.
Yeah, before images, basically.
Before images, leading Masson along a path. I'm thinking possibly along a path that ends in him having a clear, easy shot at landing a heavy blow to the boss.
Yeah, because think about what happens when you apply heat to nuclear things. Especially since the cooling unit has been destroyed. And
since gold is not only a solid conductor, if I'm not mistaken, is it a good conductor of heat?
Yeah, gold's an excellent conductor.
Yeah, but also not very good at not melting into a point of malleability, or at least not becoming hot enough that you can easily dent and damage it.
Yeah, Black King is about to become Smaug.
Yeah,
Black King is going to get drowned in gold.
You can pretty easily use your thumb to break gold and stuff.
So basically, Masson has an easy opportunity to just take out one of the king's heads easy.
Yeah.
Okay, as for Xander, I don't think he does anything. I'll just remove this because it's no longer true.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, for most of the final boss,
I also think that Xander should be the one who, like, kills Jack Noir. Like, he's like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not taking any chances with you. Because, you know, he was the one who knew them the longest, so he should have, like, the final glory in that little skirmish. And then Masson can take out the Draconian Dignitary, just for the fun of it. maybe Masson accidentally... I don't want to say... He doesn't crash the beetle, but he drives the beetle into one of them.
Yeah, no, Hearts boxcars. Or, like, whatever...
Of course, Hearts boxcars.
Hegemonic Brute.
Because
I'm
car.
thinking that the fight starts, Masson gets hit really hard by the Hegemonic Brute, sent flying. Like, the Brute is putting up something resembling a fight. Also because they don't want to make too much noise on Durst to alert the Black King or Queen, because there are still risks involved here. So everyone's fighting at kind of a lower power. They're not just throwing everything they can.
Bit of guerrilla warfare.
Because they don't... Well, not guerrilla warfare. It's more just a straight-up fight.
Okay.
But the Brute is actually doing something that's... You know, he's holding his own, kind of. Sends Masson flying, and then I'm thinking, a bit later in the fight, the beetle, driven by Masson, swoops down, bashes into the Brute, and just carries him off into space.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so for most of the final boss, Xander is taking greater care to protect his kids than to deal damage or protect himself. So basically, after becoming a Rainbow Drinker, Xander no longer has to worry about, okay, do I protect my kids, or deal damage to the boss, or protect myself? Because he can just do all of them at once.
All of the above.
All of them. But yeah, I think... Because that's the thing, Xander's Rainbow Drinker transformation isn't just something that boosts himself. It also boosts it basically boosts all 4 of the original ones. All 4 of the ones we created right at the start. Because through the circumstances, it brings, oh my god, we can actually win this. Holy shit. And so that's a bunch of hope power. And also, he is literally glowing. And light is literally Julin's entire power source for god tier abilities, thus making him an infinite well of power for her.
And it's kind of funny that after Arthur has been just been emanating hope this entire time, now Xander is the one who is bringing hope.
I do like the idea of basically like effectively Arthur's been this beacon of hope this whole time, and then after becoming a Rainbow Drinker, and also we described during the gay-ass fanfiction, Arthur, when at full power, is literally glowing. He literally glows.
Yeah.
So basically, as Arthur is lying there, no longer glowing, very clearly not at his peak at all, Xander just sort of gets up, I'll take it from here, buddy.
You have not lost a thing. Whatever may come, the light of hope is always shining there in your heart.
Yeah.
I know you hate that song, but I felt like it was appropriate.
Yeah, whatever, sure. So, basically, I'm thinking, we've got the basics here, we've got all of this stuff. I'm thinking, the final blow is just a massively amped up Power of Love attack from Opal.
Yeah.
Mixed in with a lot of power from Cereza as well to just bolster it, add on to it, amplify it massively.
Yep.
Because, especially with the kids on hand, there's a lot of emotional power going on here. There is a lot of power with bonds going on here. Shit tons of it. This is probably the most powerful either Opal or Cereza have ever been at any point during this session.
and that kind of is the. I keep wanting to say the culmination of the arc. It's not. That's not exactly what I mean, but it's like the narrative significance of them looking after the children earlier in the story has come back, and it's come to a head, and it's contributing to the final battle. That's kind of the. Yeah. That's kind of what I mean when I say like all these things.
The frayed relationships between Julian's polycule. It's very much just like a. It's very much. It can very much signify as well. The relations are frayed here. Things are tense here. But there is still very much that genuine love and care for each other in there as well. This is not the end of the story of those four as a group. Yeah. This is just a bump on the road. And this is a physical signifier of that. As the power of those bonds, of all of those connections and all of those emotions, is just lobbed at this massively weakened Black King. And it fucking obliterates him.
This is not the problem being solved. This is evidence that the problem can be solved.
Yeah, this is not the desk is built. This is we've checked all of the screws are there, and they definitely are. Let's get to rebuilding that. Let's get to building that fucking desk once we've done checking.
Yeah. Or table. Build a table.
Yeah.
Table. Table.
Wake up. You wanted to. Why'd you build a table? You wanted to. Musical Homestuck Halves moments. That sounded like a robot relaxing in a hot tub.
Well, no, that would sound like... because it's
a waterproof robot.
It's a waterproof robot. Okay, so, I'm thinking... one more thing that needs to be shown off right here at the end. You remember how Nimina's sprite was only ever prototyped once?
Oh...
Meet X Cryo Sprite Squared.
Oh shit.
Funky?
What?
That's kind of funky, I said.
Indeed. X Sprite fuses with the single prototyped Cryo Sprite and is massively amped up.
Why would X Cryo Sprite do that?
Because X Cryo Sprite knows, oh, if this thing isn't killed, I'm dead. If these guys die, I no longer have any kind of a purpose. It was very much like the spriteness in there.
Okay.
I'll be spriting this shit.
I just think during the battle, Frongal Sprite is launching turtle shells covered in fungus at the Black King. And of course all the other sprites are helping where they can.
Yes.
That's my sprite.
Yours is Exca Sprite.
That was at one point your sprite, basically.
Because it was like, it was kind of the ironic thing is that, oh, your sprite doesn't want to help you because you're responsible for its death. Meanwhile, over here we have Masson with his sprite, who was responsible for their death, and they're like, "Yeah, we're cool." So that's a little parallel. That's a little contrast between Masson and Arthur, I guess.
Yeah, but with their extra sprite, it was very much just a matter of like, there are some sprite instincts in there. So I think it'd be really funny if basically Exca Sprite does help Arthur, but it's very much just like why the hell would I tell you that the recipe to alchemize this specific piece of equipment is...
Yeah. How do we
Kinda
trust
gets
you enough to
kind
tell
of
you that
reverse
Sonic and Tails are a
psychology
few rows down?
But yeah. So, and basically I'm thinking also the Power of Love thing also gets blasted forward even more by a massively empowered I-Beam and Light Ray from Julian as well. Just throw everything we have at that man.
Yeah. Masson launches a little flame blast.
Yeah. Arthur and Nemina don't really do anything huge because, well, Arthur doesn't have any ranged attacks and Nemina is completely out of power.
And Demacia uses her many weapons.
Demacia uses the proton cannon, the classic.
Yeah. The
I'm thinking
Unibeam. It's the Unibeam because we're united against a common enemy.
Yeah, I'm thinking also, frankly, because some of Xander's kids do have psionic powers. Some of them are blasting as well, just to put some more oomph behind it, just to give it that little extra.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it's just enough.
Try Grub Sprite in there as well.
Yeah.
When we work
but
together,
yes.
it's astonishing what we can achieve.
But yeah. And so that is the end of the game. But, well, it's nearly the end of the game. We do have one more small decision to make. The weird, funny number. The session's special number. Because every session has a special number. It's a number that we're gonna say retroactively, will have shown up throughout the session.
Yeah.
In places here and there. It will have been a constant theme, but we are only deciding it now because we couldn't be bothered earlier. So...
Can it be a fraction?
I see no reason why it couldn't.
3/4.
It's 3/4.
Because 3 of the 4 were on... there was always... 3 of the 4 were together. 3 of the 4 for the polycule were doing the shit properly.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Only one of them was
I'm sure that if we went back, we'd find plenty of moments we could retroactively find significance for that.
Also, Arthur's going to be one of
enough.
the 4 that dies. One of the 4 that dies.
Here's an idea. Because it's a fraction, it can appear in both 3/4 or... in decimal form. It can appear in both forms and mean the same thing. So 3/4, or anytime 75 is relevant, it's also a part of the number.
Yeah.
It's a part of the relevance. So it's more open.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have one little question to decide. How the fuck did the gang get out of here before the session completely erases itself? What method did the gang use to escape?
If I remember correctly, Demacia has the ability to bend space and create a portal to somewhere else. Where we end up, we don't know, but we're out of here.
Okay, I've got an idea.
Where is it? Can destroy space in a location to create a passage to another, though what is on the other side is beyond her control. So it's like... it's a cliffhanger. Ooh. And maybe, just maybe, the characters can get split up. Ooh.
Okay, I'm thinking Demacia punches a portal using as much power as she can, create a portal that leads just outside of the session's borders. Everyone piles into the Beetle and it drives through, leaving their next location a mystery. I mean, it'll be the void of Paradox Space, but it's where are they facing, effectively? Where are they actually going to be going from here? And how are they going to get a less cramped transport, what with 8 adult trolls, 9 child trolls, several cocoons, and a variety of wigglers that have presumably been shoved into the boot.
And also the sprites just kind of hanging onto the outside.
Just sort of like hovering around outside of the car. Close enough that they're not going to be disappearing off into the warping realm of Paradox Space. But we shall get to where they go in another video.
I think I did that completely wrong.
Oh, nowhere close. You were nowhere close, I'm not gonna lie. But that is the end of this chapter of our story. This is the end of this arc. You know, in shonen anime terms, the first session saga has ended.
It's okay. I've changed my mind. Instead of the Dragon Ball ending, it's the bit from Golden Wind where Giorno looks up into the sky and it's like bum da 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 da, like really dramatic music.
Yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now.
That's where we're at. Put the key inside the turtle. That will do for now. Giorno Giovanni.
The pre-scratch saga has been completed. So
the arrow and the turtle, rather. But yes.
Oh, I have a really interesting visual motif.
Go for it.
All right, I'll stick it.
Nice visual motif.
I'll stick it at the end of the end game section.
Okay. When Xander and Arthur both being murdered, it could be like a Xander is, because if Xander and Arthur are both fighting together, Xander's a ranged one, Arthur is more in melee. It could have had it be like Xander was directly behind Arthur and Arthur was just defending, and then one thing happens to go wrong that knocks them off their game, one punch gets through, and that punch goes through Arthur and like into Xander, so it crushes Xander's ribcage and it punches through.
This thing is going to be so massive, the fist is going to be bigger than both of them combined.
Oh, okay, but well, something can happen then.
Maybe it could be one of the claws that impales them both.
It'll be like they're hit by a truck.
Maybe it can be one of the claws that impales them both.
The visual motif being, there is now a hole in Arthur's chest where the heart used to be. The heart died, like on top of Xander, so Xander literally got Arthur's heart. Also, Arthur, now being Lazarus, has no heart. There's just like a hole there, and it's like this idea of they become there's something wrong, because now they're they've gone from being this perfect person who didn't have to try to suddenly they've lost that, and they're like, oh god, I don't know what they become literally heartless and figuratively heartless through the lack of trying and willingness to care, because it was all being kind of done for them. And also you can have a different kind of physicality. This, instead of the laid back individual in the Hawaiian robes and the Hawaiian shirt and the like shorts and the vest and whatever, you can now have like an emaciated person in like a
more bedraggled Arthur.
Yeah, in like now in like a, you know, bandages around them and like a what would you call it, like like a gown or like a shawl or something like that even. And
yes, a substantial redesign to Arthur as a character.
The hair could be more what's the word, like grown out and like just like hanging down off of them and covering.
Yeah, the
them.
hair maybe
Like
a bit thinner as well.
Yeah, exactly, and the beard can be much longer, and they can have this literal hole in their chest.
Bags
Yeah,
under the
but
eyes.
I'm thinking Arthur would want to, even in this state, want to be able to get to a point where he can be a remotely viable combatant at some point, just so he can feel useful to a certain extent.
Well, maybe they wouldn't.
Also, he can
immediately,
have
that's what I'm
some
saying,
agency.
maybe they wouldn't immediately. Maybe that's like what's happened is they've lost their motivation, they've lost their drive, they've lost their core because it's been stripped away from them, and they're like.
And as I've always said, rage is a strong motivator. Xander can help him out of that funk, and there's kind of like, you know, bit of tit for tat there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean you can have
we're discussing
the role
arcs
of
for the future here, friends.
Yeah, of course.
Let us
That'd be
flesh
interesting.
these ideas out at a later date. But for now, for where this story has ended, what do you guys think?
I'm so happy. I'm glad that I got to cook a little bit this time, instead of just
hell
being
yes.
like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and it's been worth the wait.
And I'm gonna be real, man. You cooked strong here today. You cooked.
Thank you kindly.
You've set up some good arcs for the future. You've helped with some really good ways to wrap up the arcs of the now. We've got a lot of stuff.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the scratch card idea. When I came up with that, I was like, "Oh my god!" Obviously,
Scratch card is good.
Quite funny, yeah.
Also, I'm glad that we finally got to let the audience experience Arthur's gay ass fan fiction.
yeah, I was not expecting that. I love that.
Gay ass fan fiction.
Ragav.
Yep. Where it's like, yeah, no, this is. I'm gonna be honest with you here, guys. Me and June have been talking about the idea of Xander having of something going on between Xander and Arthur Pendra for a good long while, and it started with that because it was like, well, come on, it's like
It all comes full circle.
there's a matter of like
You thought it was
the
Hope Boys hour. No, it's the Mage Boys hour.
It's the Mage Boys hour. But yes, I think we've cooked here today, friends. I think we've cooked solidly.
We can now take off our aprons and untie our hair and wash our hands again, and we can eat.
Indeed.
All over my fingers from making curry earlier.
Real.
Yeah, Arthur cooked, and it was with a lot of turmeric, apparently.
Not even. I just make roast potatoes and.
Well, yeah, no.
You know
I'm
when you
talking
like-
about in here, I'm combining these two things here. I'm synthesizing a real instance with a metaphorical instance. It's.
The in between of my fingers are yellow. I look like I've got some kind of evil disease.
As opposed to a good disease.
Yes. No. Well, there are most diseases I'd say are morally neutral, so I don't think they have a sense of morality.
Hi, I'm the happy poison.
Hi, that's not a disease, is it? That's a poison. That's a different thing. Anyway, fucking narrowing about what counts as a disease and what counts as a poison aside. Yeah. I think we got some good stuff here. We got some solid work. And next time, we shall not be continuing with these characters. I mean, we will be eventually, but not next time. Next time, we shall be seeing what happens in the universe that was just created by that scratch. Next time on Homestuck Halves.
I forgot that's how Homestuck worked.
Yeah, next time on Homestuck Halves. Making some more characters.
It's exciting.
And oh boy, if you thought I cooked today, just
This
you wait.
This man has not even begun to put on that big silly hat.
Excuse me, that big silly hat has a name that I'm about to Google.
He has not even begun to put on that big silly hat whose name is about to be googled by Arthur.
Why did I just open
It's
Google?
called a toque, actually.
He has not even begun to put on that toque. Or the apron. He has not even entered the kitchen yet.
That's really what it's called? Wow.
This was him preparing a light snack.
It was an amuse-bouche, an aperitif.
Because it's French, so it might be pronounced toque.
Most likely.
I don't give a shit, it's French. But... is this an episode of Morkborg? Because the French are just catching strays. Actually, they're not even strays. They're not even strays. Strays imply some.
They are targeted.
They are intended strays.
And they're not just random punches. They're targeted.
But yes.
Why?
We do have some. I will say we do have a few little plans for the post-scratch characters, but you shall see them come to fruition next time on Homestuck Halves. Time for the outro, not intro. We've done that ages ago.
Did that a while ago.
3 hours ago. So, okay. If you like this video, and God, I hope you did, because fucking hell. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you very much like this video and want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. We upload episodes of our main series, Reading Homestuck, every Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone, and we upload other things on Thursdays or Fridays, again, depending on your time zone. Other things, such as Lancer Dicey Deeds or Morkborg Dicey Deeds. Dicey Deeds in general is a series run by Arthur here. It is our tabletop role-playing game series, and the current big things we are doing in it are Morkborg, which is very much... Arthur, how would you describe Morkborg?
Episodic series of misadventures, underlined by a feeling and need to kill the people we've just created.
Yep, that's a good description. And Lancer, how would you describe Lancer, Arthur?
Sci-fi, soft cyberpunk, mecha combat RPG with a focus on morality and, well, we'll get into that later, but also a bit of Suicide Squad in there because the team are specifically called Canaries, which is referring to the fact that they use canaries in mines, because these guys are the canaries and the mines are places of war.
How about to make a name for ourselves?
That's another guy. You will meet whoever that is if you watch some Dicey Deeds Lancer. Yes, we also do Dig in Rimpo, which is a series run by me. It's more of a board game type thing wherein Arthur, Mason, and June all simultaneously control one bumbling buffoon, Maria Maegi, and it's sort of a Danganronpa parody type thing. It's a whole thing. Explaining Danganronpa in a way that actually comprehensively tells you what happens in it is just called watching Danganronpa because words cannot surmise it cleanly and in full and in decent detail. But
it's an improv comedy board game.
Yes, not quite full detail. You see what I mean? It's not detailed, but it is. That is basically what it would be described as. It has been 3 hours of describing things. I can be forgiven for flubbing it a little bit right at the end.
That's fine.
Yep.
So, yes, there are also other things that we do. Sometimes we do tier lists. Sometimes we do, just other random shit that we come up with. One thing we might be doing at some point is, some stuff with games, even. Some gaming shit. I'm planning to do some stuff with retro achievements at some point. That's a fun thing. You never know what you might find on the Shade Boy channel on a Thursday or Friday. But you will always know you will find a Reading Homestuck of some description on Mondays or Tuesdays. You can also find me on Tumblr and on Blue Sky. I post stuff there sometimes. For example, all of the images that I showed in this one, except for the Friendsim Demaso thing. I'll talk to Ria about it at some point, maybe when all of the original crew is complete, but no promises on that. But all of the stuff I personally made will be going up on my Tumblr and on my Blue Sky when this video goes out. You can find June on Tumblr, Blue Sky, and on Instagram. For her on those first two, similar story to me, it's usually just reposts, reblogs, but some original posts here and there. But on her Instagram, she does cosplay photography of both herself and others. So that's fun, and you should go check that out if that is a thing that you appreciate. And you can find Arthur on Twitch. Arthur.
Yeah, I'll be streaming now I've got a job sorted out. So,
Hooray.
it'll be coming once I get my schedule. Get everything sorted. It'll take a couple weeks. Because, it's a proper job, so I've got to do a background check.
Yeah, gotta like settle in, gotta make sure everything's good to go.
It'll be coming. Probably around February, I expect.
Indeed.
It's exciting.
Yes. And Mason, do you have anything you want to say at the end of this here episode of reading? Well, not reading Homestuck, Homestuck Halves.
Writing Homestuck.
Writing Homestuck, yes. That is effectively what we do. You know what? Fuck it. We're renaming this specific sub-series of Homestuck Halves to Writing Homestuck. That's a good name. That's a good. The man cannot leave the kitchen. He's incapable of leaving.
The hob has yet to fully cool down.
And he hits an invisible wall at the doorway. He can't leave.
I haven't rendered beyond the kitchen yet.
They have not rendered beyond the kitchen for him yet.
I cannot comprehend the true form of anything that is outside the kitchen.
But do you have anything else you want to say at the end of this episode of Writing Homestuck, I guess?
Only to say thank you to everybody for watching. We love doing this stuff, I certainly do. Especially now that I have a bit of a greater understanding of what I'm talking about, and I just have so much fun with this. Be mindful when leaving comments that YouTube does occasionally like to eat them. So if you've got something that you really want to tell us about, or something you want to like send us, I guess, better idea to do it using Alex's Tumblr.
Indeed. Or Blue Sky if you so choose.
Or Blue Sky if you so
that is
choose.
your platform of choice, you may use it as well, of course. And we will see you in the next video. See ya!
Bye.
Bye bye, everybody.